might be finally live. Hold on. Are we live? Please, I need someone to tell me that we're live. Oh my God, we're not live. We're still not live. I still don't see that we're live. I still don't see that we're live. Are we live? Oh, we're live. Oh my God. Guys, what's up? What's up? Yo, Scrub TV, what's good? Gungnir, Ice Barrier, what's up? Kai Guy, great to see you. Matthew Turner, how's it going? How is it going? Yo, I'm not used to this streaming situation, okay? You know, doing our best here. Okay, let me see what would be the best way to Ice Wave, what's up? Oh my gosh, look at all of these nice people in the chat. This is this is this is still hold on. All right, hold on. Let me figure out the best way to do this setup here. Dude, me too, brother. It has been a real mess of a day. Let me tell you something. On top of everything else, apparently AT&T's down where I live. I just haven't had service for the last like 2 hours. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I am live, but I am also dead. I feel that. Uh-oh. Bitrate is lower than the recommended. Hold on, guys. How are we doing on the connection? Are people like hearing this? Am I having issues? I don't like lower than the recommended bitrate. Oh no. Oh no. This is just such a I should have done some trial runs. Live streaming is hard, man. Live streaming is really hard. Everything sounds fine. That is beautiful. Thank you for hearing that. Yo, Kitio Blaze, what's good? Oh wow, stop it, you. Stop it, you. Oh, dude, a double D&D game. Aviana, what's up? That's amazing. That's so amazing. Okay, I'm great. It's great to hear. Please definitely like let me know the second we have issues. Also, there's definitely a bit of a like delay between me and the chat. So sorry if I like say forever, like, oh my gosh, guys, oh my gosh, what's wrong? And then you guys are telling me for like ever. Anyways, yo, so Ken Maru, what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm so like, I know that I guess this is like, I don't know why I'm surprised, but I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like people here. There's like people here. This is like my first time like doing this. I have like people that are in my chat. This is wow. I do not take you guys for granted. I like really appreciate y'all for being here. I'm so excited. I know that you guys want me to get into it. We need to like start doing stuff, right? So okay, we got decks. We got decks. We got decks. But before the decks, I want to show off. I want to show off my absolute insanity. Look at all of these. These are all of the insane YDKs that I have, and I wanted to show off kind of a little bit of the way that I organize um these decks. Uh you know, that's true. That's true. That's beautiful. More than 10%. Wow, that's nice. Um Dude, I have spent an ungodly amount of time, and I have like a whole system for how I've organized all of these. And I kind of want to just kind of explain it a little bit, and then we'll get into the decks. The decks are down here. Obviously, I had to make a new EDO Pro with only the decks we're doing today because gotta avoid spoilers, gotta avoid you sneaky rats. You're gonna try to get into my. You're trying to learn what we got coming up. I had to make sure there were new ways to, you know, um, I don't know, figure it out. Anyway, so sorry, I feel like I need to like start doing stuff. Okay, yeah, Mook, yeah, okay. Okay, the thing is, yeah, there's some synchros and stuff here, but I don't want you to think, guys. Okay, look. We're not confirming 5Ds, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said this in a comment recently to somebody. If we do 5Ds, it will not be for a long time. Okay. Um, 5Ds like happens, so it's such a later vibe in the anime, right? And so even if we do that, which I cannot confirm that we're gonna do, I want it to feel like a lot has happened and feel like we've already been through so much, and then we get to 5Ds. So no synchros. These are things I use these for a lot of other things. So that's why there are synchros here. Because the thing is also like when you're sorting all of these decks, I know, Ice Wave. I know. It's a mess. When you're sorting all of these cards into decks, not doing certain ones just means you have to do it again. Again. No, Kitty, I'm pretty sure I offered, maybe it wasn't you. Maybe that was Lilith. I would be happy to share these YDKs with you. Please. I would love to. Like, I will absolutely send all of these to you. So the reason there are synchros is because I was like, I don't want to do all this work again if I end up doing synchros, and it's easier to just do it all at the same time. I haven't done XYZs, pendulums, or links. I've completely kept all those out. So basically, the first group here is archetypes, slash like Kozaki is not an archetype, but there are like a few different cards that are like Kozaki-ish. So it's not always archetypes, but it's like even like battle chanted locomotive is not an archetype. There's Dekoichi and there's Bakoichi. But sometimes I'm like, ooh, do I want to throw in a Dekoichi engine? Oh, no pun intended. It's an engine. So that's why anything that could be considered close to an archetype, and I just put like one kind of iconic card from that archetype into the deck to kind of remind me, like, okay, Blue Eyes, that's the Blue Eyes archetype, hieratic archetype, right? And then the side deck is usually the side deck is always something totally different and random and crazy. Also, like, I need feedback. If you guys are like, we don't really give a fuck about all this, bro, like, show us the decks. Also, please feel free to be doing questions and stuff. Well, no, okay, no. Okay, Scarlet is better. Okay, Scarlet is better, but RDA is more iconic. It's the original. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. No. Um, and then okay, so I think that this side deck the side deck is always something different. In the archetypes, the side deck is for cards that a large part of their engine is XYZ Link or Pendulum, but I still wanted to include them because even though that's the case, some of the cards from the archetype might still be useful, might not. So that's what the side deck is for. That's like just a way to kind of keep track of it in my mind. Anyways, those are the archetypes. And then also even like I got like Final Countdown, obviously not an archetype, but even just like deck ideas are in here. I definitely have Gym Knights. Of course I have Gym Knights. Look at this. Lady Brilliant Diamond. Come on. Of course I got Gym Knights. So okay, so then after that we have these are archetypes. And then we have archetypes all was before I split them up because there was way too many. I could just delete these. But then we have bosses. Okay, these are level 5 or higher, or sometimes lower than level 4, but like basically could be bosses. Archetype. This is also before I did the archetype, so this one is pointless. But so I've got two versions of each. I've got type and attribute, and I've got basically two versions of every type and attribute because I've got beast, and then I've got beast coded. As I'm insane. Beast coded is obviously for cards that aren't really beasts, but could go in a beast deck without too much trouble, right? So we got beast and beast coded. Dark, and there's so many darks I split them up by level. No, Blaze. See. In a closed format, nothing is really bricked, you know. Oh, you're talking about that giant deck. Yeah. Somebody tried to run that deck. So anyway, dark and dark coded. And then the reason the synchros are separate is because the extra deck was way too big. So I was like, all right, that's fine. So there you go. Divine is all just kind of divine coded. I didn't know what word to use. I just put coded. Anyways, Ryota's deck is really bad. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think that Tomei's is obviously worse. I think that the half star that Tomei has is uniquely designed around duelists who aren't trying to win or have some other major setback. So I think if we get any more half star duelists like who are legitimately not interested in winning in some way, that would be someone that could be worse than Ryota. I think that as long until we, if we were to ever get into new series, I don't know, maybe there would be some newer duelists. But yeah, I mean, basically everything is going to. I honestly think that I would love to do like some trials of Ryuta versus like Sho. I'm kind of taking Ryuta over Sho. He's not he's bad, but he might not be that bad. But yeah, I mean, most of the first tourney was worse, but I mean, going forward, everybody's always kind of just getting stronger. So you know. Anyways, those are bosses. Okay, so if we got bosses, someone already pointed this out. What's the opposite of a boss? It's a mook. Oh, you just saw you didn't see that. You didn't see that. Don't screen grab that. That was okay. Actually, no, this is actually fine. These are all the things that I've considered skill cards that I'm like, oh, these could be Millennium items. So yeah, like like one of these is definitely, yeah, like this is the Millennium puzzle right here. Some of them are completely custom. Some of them are completely custom, but some of them are just reskinned actual skills. So yeah, there's also Millennium. These are all the ones that I was like, this could go somewhere. I think that I don't know what these are for, to be honest. I, I realized after I was like, wait, I don't actually need to hide that. This is not a secret. So then, okay, the opposite of bosses is mooks. This was where I went too far. This took me so freaking long. And it's basically like, well, every time I wanted to find a freaking dark monster, I had to, monster, dark, level 4. And there's all of these that I already know that I don't want to use for whatever reason. Maybe I think they're iconic for someone else, or maybe I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm like, there are some of these. Oh, yeah, I have like these old. Look at all of these. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. No snitching. Okay, so I have a bunch of. This is why. Okay, I have a bunch of these old. This has just become a like. Look at my EDO Pro. There are a bunch of these old like custom card packs on the internet from years ago, and I never use any of these custom cards, but some of them had like these non-speed speed spells for like almost every speed spell, and I don't know which ones had it, and it would take me forever to go through and copy over the like ones that I want. So literally, because I don't want to do all of that, and I don't want to sift through which customs that I want and which ones I don't, I have a ton of the most random custom cards on here ever. Like, what is this? Who made this? Some very smart person made this like 10 years ago, and I freaking have it in my client. I never use them, but again, you're not going to be seeing the speed spells. Okay, I do a lot of character decks in a lot of different other ways. That's why I keep the speed spells. Don't get excited, guys. Don't get excited. Okay, I never heard of Yusei Fudo. Yusei, this guy. Who's this guy? This Yusei. Who is he? I'm more of a Jack guy myself. Sorry, guys. I start streaming. I just immediately go into what's this, a Donald Trump impression? Anyway, so these are the mooks. These are the ones that I'm like, I could end up using this somewhere in a deck somewhere. And so I swear we're gonna keep moving. We gotta move. We gotta move forward. Rush. I thought I might do Rush because I wanted to maybe include Rush cards into normal decks in the series, but I scrapped that idea. So then we have spells and traps that are for each type and attribute as well. And then the side deck is ones that don't literally go with that attribute, but that could go with that attribute thematically. So yeah, we've got all of these. I know, right? Jack is. It's so funny how like so many of the old characters in Master Era who like were like really bad starting off, but like were good in the show. Like so many of them ended up coming around by the end. And it is actually so funny that Jack like never made it. That guy never made it. He literally never made it. It's like it's very funny. Oh god. Hold on. Excuse me, guys. Okay, here we go. Okay. I'm still so. No, the rush cards would be super neat. I agree. But the problem is that they just look too different. Um, and it just kind of harshes my vibe. That's like if there's no other reason. I think that especially for season 0, I still think maybe if I redid season 0 again, I might consider it. But yeah, it's because for season 0 and and for like Duelist Kingdom, there's so many cool rush cards that would be so perfect. But yeah. Anyway, so there you go. Yeah, he is Consistently horrible. Okay, then we have the staples. So I've got two categories of staples. This is actually new. By the time that the current tournament that we're in, none of the decks have actually incorporated this yet. But I basically kind of sorted draw spells and reborn spells into like power levels. So, you could always have one of a lower power level. Like obviously Pot of Greed is in 3.5, but Pot of Greed could go in any 5-star duelist deck. But this is like the earliest you could get Pot of Greed. So yeah, I don't know. And then Reborn, because every deck needs Reborn and they need drawing. So no, you're 100% all right. You're 100% right. Prison Warden Diane Keto. Yeah, well, no, you're right. I mean, you're right, Aviana. The thing is that like if I could do it all again, I might. I might. I might. And there's something that I'm not going to reveal to you guys yet because I'm keeping it close to the chest. I'm keeping it close to the chest. You're probably not going to know about it until tournament 6. We're still in tournament 4. But there is a reason why using rush cards could be a lot easier. I'm going to be making some pretty big changes to the series. I'm not going to say what that means, but they're going to be fun. And rush cards would be a lot easier to import with those changes with that. But by then, I literally started to actually sort some rush cards because I was like, okay, I might do this. And then I was like, wait a minute. None of these cards are good anymore. It was good in season 0 and season 1. And, we're leaving the era where most of the rush cards are good. It's not really worth it that much anymore. Anyway, and then I've got just generic staples. Monsters, I've got staple M, strong, staple N, weak, and just staple M. These are just like weaker staples, stronger staples, regular staples, and same thing for S. Staples spell, strong, staples spell, weak, staples. There it is. Yeah, you get it. You get the idea. Anyway, that's my, there's my setup. I don't know if anybody cared about that. Guys, does anybody have any questions? Does anybody want to, or should I just, I mean, like, I feel like, I'm super down to just start deck building, but I'm like a big feedback guy. I'm always looking for feedback. Okay. So if you guys like, I don't know, I don't want this to be too just me talking. If you guys want to make it more of a dialogue, feel free. But I also like, is it like, you guys are here because you're like, I'm here for the deck profiles. I'm not here to listen to you gab, brother. If that, I want to know. I want to know what you're here for. When the power level continue to increase that quickly because we already have some pretty swarmy deck. Oh, yeah. At the end of the next tournament, we will end season 1 and season 2. We're going up. Power level's moving up. It's not going to move up in a crazy amount. And the thing is that it's going to hit a ceiling relatively quickly. It's going to hit the point where it's like, this is going to kind of be more or less the power level like forever. Maybe not until like season 3 or so when that happens. Yap King. But like season 2 will be significantly closer to the power level that we'll just have basically for the rest of the series. Oh my God, Ascension Turbo deck. Well, the thing is, I couldn't. That's a Sleeping Giant, right? Wait, what is is it Zushin? Yeah, I mean, look, the reason I could never do a chop boy, we want to see Yuki. The reason I can never do a Zushin Turbo deck is because that would preclude that those 5D's characters that do have a Zushin Turbo deck. So, I'd have to that would be a nightmare to balance. I don't even know if it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hey Lilith, what's up? Thank you. Welcome. Okay, so let's just do some deck profiles. Again, if you guys ever want to stop me talking about anything, you can ask me anything else, anything you want to know. So I guess we'll just go in alphabetical order here. America Uchimura. Misplaying King, dude. This deck is incredibly memey. It is built around one core thing that I feel like wasn't really shown off. And I feel like when I was talking to people in the comments about it, I feel like people almost didn't believe me about how crazy this goes. As long as you have a Book of Eclipse or a One Day of Peace in your hand every turn, you win the game. The game is, can you not draw a Book of Eclipse or One Day? I mean, also if you draw really badly, that's not always the case. But the thing is, this deck is balanced around the fact, as I talked about in the video, balanced around the fact that you're giving your opponent everything they want. You're giving them all of their pieces. You're letting them draw. How do you possibly balance a deck where you're letting the opponent draw all of their pieces? And the point is, if they deck out, they can't use any of those pieces. So you just have to hold them off long enough for all the other stuff to deck them out. And you're also drawing your pieces too. 6 copies of this is no joke, man. Your whole strategy revolves around making sure. No, I'm not jinxing him. No. Well, he might, because the thing is that I don't know if the players can actually. I don't know. I don't know if they learned how to play this deck. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, I really do think this deck is actually quite balanced, even though you're giving your opponent so many things. Appropriate is also the other big piece here, and the thing is that appropriate has to be used really strategically, because if you, it's really funny. You can get yourself, and I think the American player was trying to play around this actually in that duel. The thing is that if you've got like appropriate hand destruction, right? And you're like, oh, I really want to like, no, AD Changer Morphing Char OTK is diabolical. Kai, that is absolutely diabolical. And you're like, oh, I want to deck him out, but I want to keep advantage. Let me just be, especially with these little ones, right? You're like, okay, I'm going to activate appropriate. Then I'm going to play 2 Dark World Dealings, 2 hand destructions. Brother, you just drew 8 cards. Not to mention 10, that's 10, 12, 13, 14. You just drew 14 cards. No. I know. Good question, Gugnir. I absolutely love Shadows. Shadows are one of the coolest archetypes ever. I am a huge Shadow fan, and I never played like advanced while tier limit was a thing, but there is nothing stopping. The only things that are like completely off limits are decks that go decks that are used, for the most part, this might be with exceptions, decks that are used by anybody in 5Ds, Zexal, Arc V, Vrains, just because I want to keep that open, and decks that have future summoning archetypes. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't use decks. Shadows and Tearlaments are fair game. And I've thought a lot about where this series will go. So I mean, look, I'm not saying that I already know exactly which characters in my mind will use those decks, but I'm not saying that that's not the case either. Avatar of Pot deck win. Hey Lilith, you know what? Tyra has Avatar of Pot in his deck. He probably won't next time we see him. I'll talk about that when we get to his deck. Kidio, I literally been out of town. I had my high school reunion, and my dumbass as an 18-year-old, why did I guys, who the fuck told me to run for senior class president? Did you guys know this? I didn't know this until like January of senior year. My assistant principal was like, hey, yeah, when you do the reunion, this and this and this. And I was like, when I do the what? What are you talking about? Apparently, the senior class president has to do the freaking reunion. I have a summer job because I'm in school, but in law school, they're like, no, you got to work during the summer, brother. We don't do the summer break shit. So I have a summer job at a labor union, pro labor, hell yeah, with legal counsel, labor union. And I'm doing this freaking high school reunion for the last week. It has been just an absolute, like, I've been dead. I came to the stream for a bit while you were streaming, I don't know if you saw some of the comments I made, but I did have to run. Drawing 14 cards with appropriated because I'm an empath. No, literally, you will find yourself in that position, and it is so tragic. So that's the one thing you have to be very strategic with appropriate, because if you don't use it at the right time, if you don't use it early enough, you will do what America did to himself in these games, which is you will just run out of cards. But if you use it too early, you will deck yourself out first. Kaiba playing tier against Joey. Is this like one of those what's it called? Those voiceover duels, or like those voice actor duels. Anyway, I guess we could do card by card. Should we do card by, I'm realizing that I don't know. I guess I'll do like brief card by card. You guys know all these. Chainsaw Insect, Beast Butcher. Chainsaw Insect is like obviously like way more powerful than any other level 4 in the tournament, but it's balanced by the fact that America's not trying to win in battle. I think there might have been one test game where America player won in battle. But you know, 3 morphing jars, absolutely insane, right? Just absolutely busted. But it's okay because I mean, literally, this we're running Sasuke Samurai #3. He's got a lot of cards in here that literally will never go off. Beastro Butcher, you'll probably never get that effect off. You'll probably never get Sasuke Samurai #3 off. Hero Shadow Scout, every so often, you will get a well-timed Hero Shadow Scout. Finite cards is the other major part of this strategy. I don't even think we saw this in the game. I'm so sad that we didn't get to show how this deck really works. Like, see it in practice. The thing is that finite cards goes crazy. And because here's what you do. You get side effects, you get present card, you get Book of Eclipse, you know, and then you have finite cards in the field, and then during their end phase, you drop all of these at once. They have to draw all these cards and then immediately discard them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You weren't ready for that one. You weren't ready for that one. Well, absolutely ridiculous anime draw card that is. Oh, Aviana, 100% Card of Sanctity will be 100,000,000% Card of Sanctity will be in Zero Chronicles. There's, you know, one of the, like, it's not the main reason, but I'd say it's like 2% of the reason I've even done this series. It's just to activate Card of Sanctity, just to go crazy whenever someone drops a dude. The jar beatdown, absolutely. Right. No, he played them. It's just that, like, I don't even know if we really saw them go off. Anyway, so that's basically this deck. Present card is extremely strong. I had to reduce this down to 1 in the deck because more than one of these, and the deck is just able to pop up so much. One thing that's also good about present card is if your opponent searches, okay, it's either good to save this for end phase with finite cards or when they search. If you can drop this when they search and just make them lose their search, ooh, not good for you. But sometimes you let them draw into combo, so it's not always great. It's extremely silly, Lilith. It is extremely silly. It is only for the top decks, and we still won't see it for a little while. I mean, honestly, Monster Recovery and Duelist Kingdom was very close. Honestly, maybe Monster Recovery is honestly even maybe better. Okay, Asuka. Okay, also, so the side deck, I'm keeping these these are cards that I, since making the decks and sending them to the players, realized that I might want to put into the deck. So that's why the side deck is there. I'm like, honestly, oh, okay. So remember I said that I've got these starting in the next tournament. I have done a overhaul of Draw and Reborn, how they work. So almost every deck in the series, except for the ones that are already so powerful that didn't matter, is gonna have slight erratas to match the Draw and Reborn overhaul. Basically, I wanted to sort of make a because I'm insane. This just doesn't matter. This isn't like there's no real reason to do this other than the fact that I'm a little crazy. I wanted to feel like there was a consistent like through line between who had access to what kinds of draw cards. Like I did in season 0, like students were dropping like Pot of Greed, like Minion Jaws was dropping Pot of Greed. And but here's the reason why this actually matters to me though, is because if you give everybody Pot of Greed, Graceful, like, then who's gonna use trade in? You know? Well, who's gonna use advanced draw? When are we ever gonna see common charity if everybody's already got Pot and Graceful anyway? When are we ever gonna see these insane Pot of Desires, Pot of Extravagance, all of these cards, right? So I wanted to make sure that all of these cards had a place. And I think that the best way to do that is to sort of make very consistent draw and reborn cards. So right now, there's not a huge amount of changes with this on the Duel Academy front. I don't think that we would take out Premature Burial necessarily, because I think Premature Burial is probably around where Asuka is. But that's just like something that will be slightly different in the next tournament. And I think honestly, the main reason that I would consider switching back to the front for Premature Burial here is just because it's more thematic. Like a bunch of the GX duelists had Premature Burial and Call of the Haunted, so that's kind of why a lot of anyway. It doesn't. I'm like going. This is bye, Blaze. Hey, have a good night. Have a great night. Wow. Look at me, guys. Look at me. I'm a streamer. Have a great night. Yeah, I'll just keep streaming. Well, you know, I'm a streamer. What can I say? I stream. Oh yeah, me. Yeah, I stream sometimes. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm just like kind of a streamer. Yeah, like, oh, what do you do? Oh yeah, I like stream. Yeah, I like a streamer. What can I say? I'm just like a streamer. No, you're right. Trade-in was the worst example, like, because trade-in actually, like, in a deck that would run trade-in, it is actually like, it is always pretty. It's like always good. In a deck that would run trade-in, it will run trade-in. The Tay deck for my second term, I do play. Oh, that's actually a really great. I like that because she has a dancer. That's good. That's C, Lilith. That's what the fuck I'm talking about right there. That's the kind of thematic shit that I love right there. Prima Light came out after, and then Water of Life. I don't know why. I don't know why I have this in here. Anyway, so Asuka's deck. Here's why it goes crazy. Cyberblader is obviously pretty insane early, but the main Cyberblader can be relatively inconsistent. I mean, you got 3 Rotos, you got 3 Warrior Lady of the Wastelands, you've got Future Fusion. Um, you can get into Cyberblader quite easily. But 3 DD Warrior Lady, 3 Command Knight is diabolical at the early academy level. It's just absolutely diabolical. So that's really like the way, yeah, the Command Knight lock. That's kind of the way that I wanted to make sure Asuka. And then there's also good staples, like because she's 3.5 top of blue. She's got Lightning Vortex. There's very few people that have Lightning Vortex. I think it might just be her and the Kaiser, maybe Misawa. I don't remember. I don't know. But yeah, Lightning Vortex. Actually Lightning Vortex was what beat Kunisaki. Just but not like super busted really by itself, but just at this level. Of equip, you mean equip spells in general or this equip? Because let me tell you something. I love this equip in the deck. I didn't think about it much at first, but here's the thing. She used fusion weapon, right? The fusion weapon. So it's called fusion sword. Okay. I really like this thematically. It kind of is like it's a take on that equip spell, but it's way better. I said this in the games, but I don't think we've gotten to show off how well. The thing is, I guess it's hard to show off how good it is because it's good in a way that you wouldn't be able to see. Because the point is that when your opponent would activate MST, they don't. And so as a viewer watching the duel, you don't get to see that Fusion Sword Mirasame Blade actually just saved the whole game. But if you're in the game, if you're testing, I'm like, dude, this card can be a house. Like, I know it sounds crazy. But Battle Phase MST, Battle Phase Twister is just, it is like format defining with these equip spells. Dude, is DD? Hold on. Okay, I know we're not doing that. I don't know. Is this problematic? I don't know if it might be problematic, guys. But I would love to get. Is DD assailant a woman? Is that confirmed? Is that confirmed? Because that is great intel. That is absolutely great intel, Matthew Turner. It's like a bother. Oh, you are not a bother at all, Lewis P. Lewis P. Let me tell you something. You're chatting in my chat. I'm just happy to be here, brother. You are not a bother at all. No rush cards. I did talk about it before. It's just, yeah, I mentioned it before. It's just that at this point, now that I'm even considering adding them, it's a little too late for them to really be good. And it would take because I mean, going over, like, looking at I would have to sort the rush cards into like all of this. It would just be too much and it wouldn't really pay off because it's just so late in the game. Dude, 100%. Manjome, it's time for his comeback. Weak little Briar. Yeah, if fuck Briar, right? I'm just kidding. Everybody seems to really be a big fan of Briar. I believe in Manjome as well. I was gonna give a character mono the spell Eternal Rest. That's pretty good. I like that. Eternal Rest. Yeah. There was some characters that had Eternal Rest in season 0. I think Zachary had it. Eternal Rest is actually really good in like the season 0 era, like really low power. Eternal Rest goes crazy. Gungnir, I did not. You know what? That is huge. That DD Assailant is actually a lady. That is like really good intel. Aviana, that's a good question. I've been thinking about it, and actually, I made as a super random like pilot, like just to kind of see. I made a deck for a character that we wouldn't see until like literally like season 10 or 11. That's kind of how deep this goes in my brain. Like someone that is so far down the line in my like outline that like I will probably not even be making this series by the time. I wouldn't say probably. I would love to still be making this series, but there is no guarantee. And just to kind of see like what that would look like as just like an exercise. And I did make a 60 card deck for them. So it's definitely not off the table. I think that I absolutely think, and I don't think that would only be the case in like season 1 million. I think that right now it hasn't worked for any of the decks I've made so far, but it's not off the table. Um, oh, dude, no, you don't have to apologize for the dub names. I always feel so, guys. I would love your feedback. I always feel so uppity for using the sub names. I'm always like, oh, Janochi, and it's like, oh, Janochi. Oh, okay, we get it. Okay, we get it. This guy went to college. Like, the thing is that like I actually just like there's a side of me that like for a lot of them they're just more like they're just more natural to me. For some of them they aren't necessarily. Like I think I called Johnny Steps the wrong thing in Duelist Kingdom a few times, but like the thing is that like since I've decided that I'm going with these names, for the ones that aren't natural to me, I want to make sure it's like relatively consistent. So I don't know, but it always feels like I always feel like such a like I always feel like such a like I'm trying so hard when I use the sub name, but they're the natural ones to me. Sorry guys. Um. Oh man, Toramaki gets all the laughs. Yeah, absolute jokester. Um. Hey man. Hey, we never know. We never know. Valen might appear, he might not. I'm not even doing deck profiles. What is the second deck? Okay. This is okay. Instead of doing deck profiles fully, let's just talk about the big stuff that sets our deck apart, right? So yeah, again, staples, Lightning Vortex Swords have been like Graceful Charity. Sakuretsu Armor is insane. Premature Burial is insane. Future Fusion is insane. Allegro Tool is super fun though. Love this card. It's bad, but she used it, and if it's not gonna be in her deck now, it's not gonna be in her deck ever. So want to show it off. Oh, here's a fun Cyber Prima anime. This card is actually like slightly better, and of course, as we saw, it combos with Fusion Sword Murasame Blade. All right, Kai Guy, thank you so much for coming. I would love. Hopefully, I'm still around. No prob. No prob. I understand. Yeah, I know it can be confusing. Uh, I actually I don't fully remember what happened with the Arc V names there. But that's the thing is that like especially once we get to some of these series, like I just cannot call some of these people by their dub names. I just can't do it. What is it? Who the fuck is Greiger, bro? Oh, you will never catch me using the word Greiger. I'd rather die. Thank you. I'd rather drop dead than use the word Greiger. I'm sorry. That is bomber. Thank you very much. Um, Aviana, the thing is that like at this, oh my god, Lilith, 3 a.m. At this level, I would say except okay, well, the thing is that you saw. Let's see, you had Future Fusion, Judai, Kaiser, and Asuka. I think are the three that have Future Fusion. I disagree. I think Future Fusion is actually quite good. I think that it is. I think that it is the right kind of balance. I think it is balanced well. You're right that it gets popped a decent amount of times, but the thing is that like that's okay because a fusion from the deck, especially at this level, using up none of your materials in your hand or field is already just busted, and all the cards are using Future Fusion on are Wild Edge, Cyberblader, Cyber End Dragon, insane. So, and I think that like except for like Judai with the Stratos, I think every deck only runs like 2 spell trap removal cards. So we've seen people get pretty unlucky. But I would say it's like a 50-50. Um, Thank you, Lewis P. Thank you. Exactly. Exactly. Sayer. Oh, come on. It's gotta be divine. Divine. Um, I am also I have to start making my way through the later Yu-Gi-Oh series. I got halfway through Zexal and never made it to the rest. I was enjoying it. I was enjoying Zexal a lot. I just got busy and I think I'm gonna restart Zexal soon and do the rest of them. Anyways, Chronos de Medici. So Chronos is mainly set apart by his staples. We've got hold on, where are we? We've got Confiscation, Heavy Storm, Iron Draw, Limiter Removal, Premature, Widespread, Call of the Haunted, Toy Robot Box. This card goes crazy. This is an Imelda original from Waking the Dragons. This card is very good. Iron Draw is also insanely good. I'm not joking, but it's funny how I don't think it really did anything because strong decks seem to always have a way to get rid of if you're against Thomas. Okay, that's fair. I mean, look, I think that we haven't seen Future Fusion go off that much late in the, yet, but I think you're right. You're absolutely right. It definitely it's half and half. And then we still have even the weaker spells like Fissure and Smashing Ground are both in here. Integral Drill to just set limiter removal. The thing is that his monsters aren't great. Like he's got decent beaters with 18, obviously the 1800 guy here, and then the 1600 it's a little low power, but he's kind of just trying to float and stall until he can get an Ancient Golem. He really got kind of shafted on the Ancient Golems. I feel like he's more likely to just get them out all the time. I mean, it's 3 of, and you just got to draw it, and sometimes you just don't. But yeah. This deck is no joke. I mean, just honestly, there are some decks that just like can't deal with Ancient Golem. If your monster removal is mostly like battle traps, what do you do? What do you do at this level? There are some decks that like just can't deal with this. They have like 1 out in their deck. The cheat and teach. Okay. Dai Takuji, the one who did not have defense mode in his deck. Defense mode works for both players. You only need 1 defense mode of that script at any given time. But he didn't have it in his deck, so he had 41 cards. Oh, by the way, the reason the defense mode isn't in any of these because I realized that Idiot Pro literally added the exact thing that I use defense mode for as a built-in feature. So I don't even need that script anymore. So I don't think that Tournament 5 we will need it anymore. I don't think that we will be using it for that one. But yeah, Daitakuji actually had 41 cards. Usually they have 41 because it's defense mode, but this one didn't have defense mode. Anyway, so Daitakuji has 3 major engines in his deck. RGB Rainbow, Lucian, and Furin Kazan. That's like 1 engine that's basically just can I do Furin Kazan. It's so fun and so silly, and I love it. Their other ones are the Familiar Possessed, which it doesn't have the actual Charmers. Like if Daitakuji was in Season 0, we would have seen Charmers, right? But there's just you can either play like the new Charmer support, and that makes them kind of too strong, or you can play the Charmers and they're just absolutely just like irredeemably bad. They're so bad. So I just put in, these are just beaters. It's just beaters. What else do you do? They're just beaters. And then we've got the 1850s here, the new 5-star versions of them. So yeah, and I love these cards. And then the third engine is the element cards. All of these elements: Element Doom, Element Dragon, Element Magician, Element Soldier, Element Saurus, and Element Valkyrie. Yeah, Ice Wave. Yeah, I had been playing with I think it's been out for like months. I think that came out in like earlier this year. So yeah. And then we've got a bunch of other things that kind of signify his I mean, obviously he played Elemental Absorber in the show, but like Magician's Circle obviously works with the spellcasters, but also like Spellbinding Circle. It kind of has like a, tribute to the Doomed. For those that remember his anime appearance, that might spark a few ideas in your brain. The artwork of Tribute to the Doomed. So there's kind of like Book of Moon, even just like he's got that like book, right? He's got that book in the anime. I don't know if I'm not saying he's got the book in this one. Louis P, thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate it. Lilith, do it, Lilith. So yeah. So yeah, a lot of these cards are just like references to like his like slight alchemy thing in the anime. I love Element Sword. Element Sword is a Judai like season 2 card. I love it in this deck. It's like perfect for this deck at this power level. It probably will be a lot worse going forward, but it's just like I just love it. It fits so well here. It gets the little lightsabers. Anyway, there it is. Yeah, which he's like it's the mystical kind of thing, which Black Forest and all this stuff. So yeah, this deck was very fun. Let's go to okay, this is Gokaido. So some of these decks are from back before I really cemented like what I was gonna call it. Like Briar and Beauregard, we skipped them, right? Because they're actually Ohara and Kohara still in the deck editor. And that's because I made some decisions as we were going to. Yeah, the Emerald Tablet. That's right. I made some decisions on like naming, and it ended up being like in the anime, he was like, oh, call me Elite Kun. And Manjome's got his whole like Sanda thing. So I think they kind of had their little back and forth. And it's like I was gonna go with it for a little bit, and I was like, it's too silly. I don't really care about that. Once I like fully like fleshed out Gokaido, and I was kind of like, this guy's kind of badass. I don't want him being like petty, like call me elite. I kind of like wanted to keep him cool. So yeah, anyway, so this deck revolves around the equip spells. Of course, he does have access to Marauding Captain Lock, baby. That is an amazing part of his deck. Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, of course, can also float into Marauding Captains, and Rhoda can search for Marauding Captains. He's got these giant Darkblade Wordographer beaters up here. I would say that this deck is like pretty like standard. It's kind of that's a great point, Matthew Turner. Cauldron of the Old Man is I think I might actually already know which deck I want to debut that in, but it's gonna be on the back burner for a little while. I think that it is at low level. It is like I think that is like a very very powerful card in low level tournaments. It's like wave motion cannon, kind like I would say. Well, I guess I don't know. You'd have to do math to figure out which one is technically better, but I would say it's like I would say it's like a better wave motion cannon. I think that card kind of goes absolutely crazy if you can't stop it. But yeah, for future, no, you're definitely right. Um his deck is kind of just like good stuff. It's kind of hard to like really pinpoint like there's no like some of these have like very specific strategies they're meant for. It's just like summon warriors and equip them with shit, you know. Some of the like standout cards, obviously Ben-K. Ben-K sometimes OTKs with this deck. It's not unlikely. I hope that we get to see it because it is like pretty good. And then of course you just got a bunch of staple good stuff like Sakuretsu, Smashing Ground, Nobleman, Back to the Front. Bashing Shield is probably his best equip spell because it just 1,000 attack points is still pretty high for this era. And of course he's got Mirror Blade as well, just one copy. Divine Sword Phoenix Blade. It's just got like all the things. There's not really much to say about this one. It's pretty standard. Kindred Churai. This card is horrible, but this is in here because like I said, we did the draw and Reborn overhaul. And so including this was part of the draw overhaul. Okay. Professor Ayukawa. Ring of Life. I thought about adding this later, but this is probably too good for the Proctor deck because it kind of goes insane. To you gain and inflict, destroy the monster. So as you can see, this is no bad reaction to Simicky because I just wanted to keep just Reficule because Simicky, I mean, it allows the deck to, how do I say this? It allows the deck to do more things and still not be too powerful, you know? Oh, see, Matthew Turner, see, yo, you are way ahead of me with these picks. Moon Mirror Shield. We will not be seeing Moon Mirror Shield for a little while, okay? Okay. No, I mean, you're absolutely, no, okay, here's the thing. I normally don't use the side deck for what I'm using it for here, which is cards that I wanted to add in later. Every one of these decks, I removed the entire side deck. The side deck is for all of the cards that I've like considered adding or want to add in the future. So you can definitely, some of the picks that you're saying, Cauldron of the Old Man I hadn't thought of. Some of the picks that you're saying like Moon Mirror Shield, it's probably in that side deck somewhere, if I'm being honest. Because I'm like, yeah, that's something to definitely think about in the future. But yeah, this card is straight, just absolute, just dog. This is dog water card. But at a low level, it can let you do draw 2, discard 1. I am so glad you're going to bed, Lilith. It is like almost 4 a.m. where you are. I really appreciate you coming by. Thank you. But yeah, this like it lets her play like okay, like 3 gift card. If you have 3 Reficule and 3 Simicky, it kind of just gets kind of crazy. So it's like it just kind of like lets her play with more of her tools without being as consistent. And yeah, I don't know. And then Mystic Tomato can always float into Reficule, of course. Muscle Medic. This is like the perfect card for her, right? As like a personal trainer / doctor. It really works. I'm just realizing that the sounds outside my window were fireworks because it is June 27th, not gunshots. I'm just gonna keep insisting that they're not gunshots. They're not no, they're fireworks. They've got to be fireworks. Okay, they've got to be fireworks. Okay, so dude, Brutal Potion, Dark Cure. Which games? I gotta look this up. Which of these fucking games gave us these absolute dog water cards? Game that came with Reficule, Brutal Potion. Okay, Reficule's not dog water. It was Tag Force Evolution for the PlayStation 2. Brother. Dark Cure and Brutal Potion are the worst cards ever made. They are so bad. But you know, she used them in the anime, and you know, they will probably never be in her deck again. So okay, I'm getting off track here. So besides the thing is that this deck is I need to focus. Okay. besides the cure burn stuff, it is like the deck is built so that half the deck is cure burn and half the deck is like almost like battle. It kind of go because the thing is that she did use Reficule for battle using Brutal Potion. So it's like it's kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a versatile like cure burn deck. So it's like when I'm not cure burning, what am I doing? I'm injection fairy lilying, I'm muscle medicing, I'm malevolent nuzzlering. I mean, Soul Taker is just monster removal, right? Um, so it's kind of like built around the idea that it's like, yeah, we're mainly cure burning, but because I'm a proctor, I'm also just like doing other stuff that's like vaguely thematic, but is like not very good. So yeah, and then of course she's got like Nightmare Soul Gauge, Swords of Light. That's kind of when you're most terrified. These cards are just really, really good at this level. Not much more to say. Yeah. I think she still has the potential to do really well though. I think that like just it's terrifying to play against this deck. Hayato, my man. Okay, I found out about Chain Whirlwind after I made these decks, and I love this for these Slifer. Because here's the problem, guys. Here's the problem. Let me tell you something about these Slifer Reds, okay? Let me tell you about these Slifer Reds. I keep trying to tell y'all about Fusion Sword, Murasame Blade. Nobody want to listen to me. I'll tell you something. This shit right here is actually insanely good at this tournament, in this low-level tournament. Because I promise you, spell trap removal as a battle trap is like format defining. And so I needed a really bad card that could do spell trap removal for the Slifer Reds that wasn't MST, wasn't Dust Tornado, but could still out spells and traps. It can't be D-spell. It can't be remove trap. I need something that does both, right? And there was nothing. It needed to be a bad card. It needed to be worse than MST and Dust Tornado because for the Slifers. So I settled on doing 2 Twisters. That was a mistake. Let me show you something. Toramaki, poor guy, he's running Stamping Destruction and Dust Tornado. Let me tell you, you would think that Stamping Destruction is a better card than Twister. No, let me take that back. Stamping Destruction is a better card than Twister. But in this format exactly, Twister, because it is a quick play, is so versatile. It is like, there are so, just like against obelisks, premature burials, Call of the Haunted, like being quick play is just insanely good. So the 2 Twisters, funny enough, in the Reds decks ended up being better than a lot of the spell trap removal in the much more powerful decks like Toramaki's, for example. And later on, I found Chain Whirlwind. This is obviously still a trap card, but it is very situational. And it's exactly the kind of vibe that I want to go for with the red. So like this is what the deck would look like if I were building it today. But either way, random tangent. We're not even talking about Hayato's deck. Here's some way to make Reficule Destruction immune. I'm not sure, Matthew Turner. I'd have to think about it. I think that I don't think so actually. I think that in a true Reficule deck, I mean, maybe not. Like honestly, like maybe like a Moon Miracle or something like that would be insane. But that's battle immune. I think that in a true Reficule deck, again, in the power level that this series will kind of, when it reaches its like equilibrium power level, alternate win conditions are really tough. And I think that a true Reficule deck at full power does not need like too much more tools to be like broken. Like if you're running full power Reficule, Simic gift card, upstarts, all of that, like you're probably fine without making Reficule Destruction. I mean, I'm not saying that's definitely the case. I mean, obviously we'll see how it goes in testing, but like there are a lot of ways that with alternate win conditions like that, there are purposeful slight not as much as like Ayukawa's deck right now, but there are slight nerfs that are like built in because it kind of feels really bad to play against one of those decks and feel like you never had a chance. Which sometimes you just do. And sometimes that happens like, but if that happens like every single game, it's like, damn, this sucks. So yeah, it's tough. I just want to see a mutual burn. A mutual burn. Oh, they're both playing burn and they both have Prime Material Dragon. Wait, what do you mean mutual? I know I by the way, can I just say, I'm glad you brought this card up. I love Prime Material Dragon. This card is sick as hell, dog. I still don't even know if I've thought of what character would run it. I just love this card. It's so awesome. It is busted. It is crazy good. I'm not sure we have mutual though. You know what? Funny you say that, Matthew Turner. Hold on. Hold on. Boom, right there. See? Yes, I agree. Does Ryota have it too? No. He's so weak. Oh my god. Oh, he's got Eternal Rest. Who was talking about that earlier? Oh, and then they both gain the life points instead. That is just absolutely silly. Love it. Okay. Hayato. So this guy so far in the tournament has been kind of going crazy with Master of Oz. Look at this. He's got 2 polys, no searches. Why did this man get Master of Oz out in like 4 of his 6 games? Wait, he played more than 6 because he played against. No, he got it out against Tyra too. He got it out against Tomei twice, Tyra once. Oh yeah, no, that was 6. That was, I don't even know, 5 games. 5 games. He got it out in 3 of the 5 games. How is he drawing poly like this? This guy has the heart of the freaking cards. But yeah, I mean, this deck, I very much did not want to make it Master of Oz Turbo because, you know, Hayato, you want it to feel like when he gets Master of Oz out, it's like a big deal. But, you know, what can I say? He's doing it. There's just a few cards in here that I just love. Kangaroo Champ, come on. Come on. That goes in there, man. Des Wombat, Australian, you know, there are a lot of Australian-y cards. Wild Age's release is just, I feel like I'm being so, I feel like these deck profiles are kind of aimless. I prepared a little bit to like potentially do these like a long time ago, and now I'm like, I feel like I'm not really doing a good job. Okay, hold on, let me get my deck profile. All right, so when you're playing as Hayato, you really want to no. The thing is that there's not much to say. It's just like it's just theme cards with these low level decks. Like the thing is like when America's deck was here with like Rio's deck, there's like so many things to talk about. This is just like Beast good stuff. No, Beast bad stuff, I should say, on purpose. So the only thing you really do, I guess, is like just point out like specific cards that are like, oh, this is like kind of a fun choice. His best cards are definitely Super Rush Recklessly. This card kind of goes crazy. Super Rush Headlong. This card kind of goes crazy. Wild Age's Release. Punch in the Box. This card goes insane. This card is actually really, really good. When opponents goes to attack while they control 2 or more monsters, target the attack monster, negate the attack, and if you do, send one other monster they control to the graveyard, then targeted monster loses attack equal to the original attack or defense of the set monster in the graveyard. So this card is kind of like a double removal, and it's so fun and so thematic for a Hayato. You gotta love this. There are a lot of great Hayato cards that we will hopefully see later, but not quite ready for those yet. It's got the little burn engine with Poison Fangs, that's Koala. The Slifer is mostly all I have. Lucky Iron Axe is their equip spell. You guys, they got to thank me for those that are saying the Slivers are too weak. Early on, MFers were running Beast Fangs and Machine Conversion Factory like in season 0, and I was like, no, they deserve slightly better than that. So they're running Lucky Iron Axe. Not much more to say here. We can move on. Ishiki. By the way, this is like the ideal monster ratio. I support it 100%. I think 25 out of 40 is like always the move. Again, what do you really say? It's just like spellcaster good stuff, spellcaster medium stuff. He's got his removal. He's got his, there's like literally nothing to say about this deck. Cybernetic Magician is like not great. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Punch in the Box for Sora. That makes sense. Fluffles, Edge Imps. I know that. Yeah. And then he's also kind of like he's got like a dark undercurrent a little bit. Even though he's not, he's not dark adjacent like Ryota is necessarily, but I don't know. He's kind of in that world. So he liked the occult stuff. That's what it is. He's got the black pendant like Ryota does. He was in that world too. So I mean, it's kind of why. It's not much to say. Oh, okay. I do want to talk Cybernetic Magician as a pick here. I think this is the perfect boss monster for Ishiki, right? You got this like the most GX card to ever GX is like, well, there's a lot of magicians in DM, and in GX they just put cyber on it. And I'm like, if there's gonna be a GX guy with a spellcaster deck, it's gotta be Cybernetic Magician, right? It's gotta be. I think in the games he runs like Gravekeepers, which I mean is fine if it's like Spirit Caller. Like obviously there's no like Marikashizu, anybody that would run Gravekeepers, so that's fine. But I'm like, obviously I'm not gonna give Ishiki Gravekeepers. So I think this worked. Anyways, whatever. Let's move on. These are cards that I would probably put in if I were making the deck today. Judai. Oh my god. Look at this freaking madman. This absolute madman. This guy has run amok. That's a kind of fun word to say, right? This guy's run amok. Yes, Matthew Turner. I completely agree. I wanted to hold off on those mainly because I do like to differentiate. There's multiple characters that have spellcaster decks right now, right? Like I'm thinking of just like Ribbon for an example. And so I do like the very best that I can try to differentiate which characters run which cards. And then there's always going to be a few that are like, this is just a good card. You're probably both going to have this. So I felt like there are a few other spellcaster duelists who I really felt like One Shot One and Wonder One was a little more appropriate for. Although I think that Tome has those weirdly enough, but her deck is so bad that it doesn't matter. So I feel like Black Pin didn't really fit him. So like I don't know. I felt like a weird like niche for him to like have the spellcaster deck without the spellcaster equip spells like all the other ones might necessarily have. Although as time goes on, he'll probably go to those because he's gonna need to get stronger, I'm guessing. But yes, great choices. And keep the suggestions coming. Okay. See, you guys. Hold on. Look at this. That's a brick right there. Oh, he draws King of the Swamp on the next turn. Can't do anything with it. No, that's not true. He King of the Swamp into the graveyard, summon Wildheart, then he can Miracle Fusion, then he can play Favorite Hero. No, that's not a brick. This is absolutely not a brick. Yeah, no, 100%. And no, and Gungnir, and can I just say I'm so glad that you said that because look at this motherfucker. It's the top card of his deck. What the fuck is going on? No. I'm so mad. He drew this in like literally every game. Why the fuck did he? Why is this? Okay. All right, this wasn't a brick at all. You can King of the Swamp, and then once it's in the graveyard, you can use it as material for Miracle Fusion. Not a brick. All right. Yeah, that's not a brick. That's not a brick. That's certainly not a brick. No, the opposite of a brick. Nope, not a brick. Okay, guys, we have hit our brick. This is the brick right here. All of these cards. You don't get a good card. I mean, maybe like Heroes. Okay, we finally found it. Okay, it took like 10 tries. Okay, well. I swear that this bricked more. I swear it did. But this is the first one. Like this one actually, like, you're not doing anything with this hand. I mean, you can summon like 2 Thunder Giants over the course of like 5 turns. Like once you get Hero Signal out, that's the first time you can finally get into like a Stratos like this late in. But until then, you have like literally nothing. They really did brick a lot more in the testing. Speaking of making everything cyber, Spike Shield with Chain. I know Kinetic Soldier DNA Surgery. And I know Spike Shield with Chain. It was in somebody's deck in Duelist Kingdom. It was in Isano's deck. So what's the Spike Shield with Chain add to that? It's interesting. Yeah, clued to the hand. So here's the thing. I actually really wish. The thing is that the last thing that I did before finalizing this deck was take out Metamorphosis because I thought Judai was too bricky. I thought he was too bricky. I don't remember what I added in. Let's take. Okay, you know what? Let's do the test again. Let's take something random out. I don't know. Mirror Gate. Wait. I don't remember what I took out. I don't remember what I put in instead of this. I don't know. Okay. 1 extra Metamorphosis. Maybe that makes a difference. No, that's certainly not a brick. Nope, that's not a brick. That's a draw 2 from Bubble Man. You get into Stratos pretty soon. That's not a brick. Okay, you know what? It's fine. All I'm going to say is, with the Metamorphosis... Okay, no. Don't get me wrong, Matthew Turner. Yeah. 2 Thunder Giants is definitely enough to kill the Reds. I think that the Yellows can... I think the Yellows beat that hand. I think they beat that one hand. But the thing is that Metamorphosis... I was like, I really wanted to run this, and I was like, no, this is too bricky. He's too bricky. He's too bricky. I had like, I swear to you, I swear to you, and this is just how like RNG Yu-Gi-Oh is. I swear to you, there were like multiple in a row, multiple matches in a row where Judai, I right hand to God, where Judai just fully bricked, and he always seemed to have Metamorphosis in his hand. Always. This was the card that was glued to his hand. It was like Metamorphosis was always in his hand. He never had anything to do with it. And it was like, I was like, dude, Judai could just immediately lose like he could just lose turn one and then lose round one and then get out and lose. What am I saying? He could just lose twice in a row and get kicked out of the tournament without ever taking a victory if he's this weak. And the thing is, like, did this change the whole world? I don't know. But I'll tell you something. Next tournament, Judai's getting a nerf. He's getting Metamorphosis. I'll tell you that right now. He's getting a nerf. Metamorphosis is back in the deck. And do you guys want to see? Do you guys want me to show you something? You guys want me to foreshadow, a little foreshadowing? I'm assuming there was actually already in the deck along the. Oh, yeah. He's got all the early guys. Oh, connect soldier gains attack and defense with its own effect. Oh, it gains defense too. Oh my god, wow. That's incredible. Yeah. That's not bad. You guys want to see a secret? You guys want to see a secret? I'm going to show you a secret. Judai is getting nerfed. He is getting nerfed. But he's going to have something else on his side. There it is. I'm spoiling it. You come to the streams, you get a little sneak peek. You guys have already seen some Duel Spirits, so this is what you can expect next time we see Judai. You can expect this. I'm spoiling it. I'm so undisciplined. I get on stream the second people start looking at me, and I'm like, ooh, what if I showed them something? I'm like, don't. Why did I do this? I'm like, the reason I don't show people things because like I might change things. Who knows what's gonna happen? I'm always like, this is a horrible idea. Why would I do this? And here it is. I'm showing you. So he's gonna have this. It's the thing is that it's a one. This okay from outside of the game is a thing from Duel Links, Aviana. A lot of cards in Duel Links are just like, yeah, just summon this from outside the game. The thing is that it is not. The thing is that it's not that powerful because it is it's just a one turn you live. It's just a one turn you live. Now here's the thing that I was thinking. If you ran Transcendent Wings, that's insanely good. That's busted. But yeah. So and there's gonna be some other ones of those, but yeah. So that's a custom. That is a completely custom skill. That wasn't a retrained one that already existed. So Judai will definitely get Metamorphosis to make him a little more brickier, but he'll have one extra turn in every duel from Wing Karibo. Next time we see him. So there you go. I can't believe I've spoiled it. I can't believe I did this. Anyway, you guys have seen this. Skyscraper is just insane. Favorite hero is where did I put favorite hero? Why isn't favorite hero here? Wait, what the hell? Oh, there it is. I'm silly. Favorite hero, Skyscraper, Stratos, Bubble Man. That's a deck right there. That's a deck. That's the whole deck. You can't. That's the whole thing. I would say more, but I feel like it's been very clear up until like you guys have seen just everything this deck does. It is absolutely wild. No wingman, you know, no edge. I don't know. So I'm trying to think. There was a few things that I wanted to say about this. Hold on, give me a second here. I wanted to say a few things about this deck, and I can't remember what they were. Oh, here's one thing. One of the greatest decisions ever. I mean, like, led to such better games was when we took out the multiple copies of each fusion. That is Dark Catapulter, one of Judai's Season 1 staples. He uses this a lot. And this is basically just a way to... it's basically spell and trap removal. And I'll talk about it in one sec, actually, because so you can only run it because of our defense mode rules, because otherwise it is dog water. But using one fusion per, like, only one copy of each fusion. Oh my god, it led to such better games because before, just like in the video games, it's always Wild Edge. This guy is summoning Wild Edge 100 times out of 100. But when he uses his Wild Edge, he's got to do other stuff, man. And this is how we get to see really, like, we get to see Rampart Blast, we get to see beat. Like, I have definitely in testing like summoned every single one of these cards except for the two that aren't in there anymore because I'm metamorphosis, but they'll be back next time. Okay. I've summoned every one of these. And it really just leads to like such more interesting games, and like it changes up the variety so much. It's like so much fun. So yeah, that was a big one. Okay, so Dark Catapulter. This card this card is so bad. Okay, so during your standby phase, if this card is in face up defense position, you can put a counter on it. And then you can destroy cards based on the number of counters that this has. So the thing is that you can't summon in face up defense position in the real game, obviously. So in the real game, you have to summon it in attack mode and then switch to defense position, and then the turn after that start getting counters, or someone has to attack into it while it's face down. Just like horrible, like unplayably bad, like just poo-poo dog water card. Here, all it has to do is survive for one turn, and it starts destroying spells and traps. This card was like, I remember early in testing, like, I remember like using this a lot. It actually would go off every so often. I think that like, I don't know. I think it's once we became more like I think Stratos just kind of, oh, you know what? Like Righteous Judges isn't even here anymore. Stratos just does it all. And Wild Wingman is here too. It's like another one. Stratos is all the spell trap removal you need. Dark Catapulter is really almost here as like a nerf. It's kind of like to dead his draws a little bit. And then Rottweiler anime is way better than the regular Rottweiler. All it has to do is go from the field to the graveyard. That is actually very, very good. Yeah, right. So Kinmaru, right? Because that was its like anime effect, and they literally just like put it in the game, and that is such a GX ass thing to do. The GX packs are full of the most like horrible cards ever printed. It's just like 10 packs in a row of just like every pack has like two good cards, two playable cards at most. It's just perfectly encapsulates GX design. What the fuck is Cyber Barrier Dragon, man? I couldn't even fit Cyber Barrier and Cyber Laser Dragon into the first version of the Kaiser's deck that we saw. And let me tell you, it's not because I didn't try. Wait, are they next to each other? No, Congress is here. Let me tell you, it's not because I didn't try. Okay, I tried forever to make Cyber Laser and Cyber Barrier work in this deck, and I'll tell you what, Kaiser was losing everything. Oh my god, Gungnir, I also really wanted Hero Kid to work. You know, honestly, if I knew how great Jude I was going to do, I would have made it work in this one. You know, like, yeah, I love Hero Kid. I think Hero Kid is one of the coolest cards ever. When he first played that shit, I was like, dude, that card is so cool. That is like such a vibe. Such a vibe. You know what? Here's my hope for Hero Kid. Let me tell you my hope. They are gonna print some retrain of this or something, and that's when we'll be able to do Hero Kid. The thing is, it would have to be season 0. Should I run Hero? This card is it's just so bad. It's just like unplayably bad. For a deck that like needs to be kind of good. I promise you guys, I try to tech in these cards. It's like when Cyber Laser and Cyber Barrier, this man could not take games. He bricked on those cards every game. But again, after we see the metamorphosis thing, maybe that's just, maybe I was on a bad run. But yeah, Elemental Mirage is also pretty good. I can miss timing, like in a weird way, like not miss timing, but like you can't activate it because it like misses act. I don't actually know. Like I know miss timing is like kind of different than like you miss the ability to activate it, but it's kind of the same thing. There are like multiple times when you're like, I really needed to play this card and I didn't get the prompt to do it. But it's fine. Mirror Gate, I honestly wish I took this out. It's like this deck doesn't need it. It's like just busted as hell. This card is insanely broken. We didn't even see it turn on in the winners bracket. Honestly, I thought I did take this out. I'm kind of surprised it's still in here. Soul Union anime, and then of course Burst Impact. I love this card. Burst Impact is so fucking awesome. Look at this. Okay, let's move on. I'm not even doing a deck profile. I'm just literally just saying random words. Okay, here's the thing is when I get live, I get nervous, guys. I'm nervous, okay? Because the thing is, like, I practiced a little bit. Like, I kind of just like okay, this is how I would do a deck profile, and I kind of just started saying things. And like when I'm focused, I can like focus. I can like really, but I get you guys are like watching me. You guys are like I feel so naked. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, stop! Oh my gosh, stop it! Oh my god, are you looking at me? Oh my gosh, guys, stop! You're looking at me, you guys, stop. So I'm like, I just get nervous and I just start talking as I'm like, oh, I don't want like I can't really like it's hard for me to keep a train of thought. I'm just very nervous. It's my first stream. I've done a few streams in the past, but like just very very scared. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He did use Mirror Gate against the enraged Muka Muka with the empty hand. Oh my god, that's right. You're absolutely right about that. Guys, I need to take a break. I need to take like a 5 minute break. Honestly, maybe even shorter. I need to like pee. Don't leave. Don't leave, guys. Don't leave. Don't leave. No, wait, don't leave. Okay, everybody just hold on. Everybody just chill. I need a 5 minute break. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. Hold on. There's a button on YouTube. They told me that if I press this button, it said when you're ready to take a break, you press this button. Start break. Oh, it's gonna like play ads. Oh god, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna press it. 3 minutes. Start. Okay. Now what? I don't know what's happening. Oh, that's pretty cool. Ah, yes. Now we're back. Now we're back. Hello, hello, hello. I forgot. I gotta unmute my mic. Okay. Um. Yeah. Good break. Hold on. I'm just gonna. Um. Rise of the Storm Monarch. You know, I hate to always say this whenever anyone recommends a card. I've got plans for it. I've got other plans for Rise of the Storm Monarch. I'll just say that I've got other plans, and I'm kind of I'm just gonna I like the plans. I think that I do have other plans for Junko's deck though to potentially power up depending on how she does. But yeah, I mean if she wins the tournament, I do think you're right that she needs like a queen status. Oh, you know what? That's actually a good segue here. I still pretend episodes of Momo for Abba's Queen, but Junko very much the strongest contender for that. Yeah, she is a force, right? She's doing so well. Um, this is a good transition actually into talking about Junko's deck because of the wonderful things he does. Hold on, let me make sure I got the rest of the stream back up here. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing is that like a lot of people do okay, well, obviously like Tag Force and some people do harpies for Junko. I'm not a big fan of that, obviously, because we're in a world with Mai. I don't want that overlap. You know, Mai's a girl. She's got harpies. You know, let her have her thing. So a lot of people. The second thing that I see a lot of done is Samorg. I think the Master Era did this as well. Samorg for Junko. And the thing is, I really Junko was. I really wanted to capture. Junko's got like a rugged look to her. Originally, I was thinking about making her sort of similar to the rest of the nobles. But Junko's got this rugged aspect to her, just looks wise. She doesn't at personality wise at all in the show, right? She's very much like, you know, like she's got the sort of like Valley Girl kind of like, oh, just talking about boys and all those other things, just like Momo. Um, in the show, they both have that going on. But Junko is like kind of rugged. And I wanted to kind of capture that a little bit with some of the cards. Now we can't it's not really seen here yet, but I think that with some of the stuff that I'm planning for her, I kind of liked the idea of I think Samori gets a little too proper for Junko. And so I kind of wanted to go a different route with her. So if she is queen, you're right that might change that. That might change that a little bit. So, um, that you know, I always want to like if there's like an excuse to like run a certain card or run certain things, and I think that could definitely make a yeah okay yeah she's Samorg now. I do think she started off as something different. And Gungnir, no comment. I'll just say that no comment over here. Um. So yeah, her deck is so cool and so fun and does so much swarming. Gotta love the Power Pro Lady Sisters represent because you know they did. I love this because they actually dressed up as Harpy Lady Sisters in the anime, right? But again, I don't want to give her Harpy cards, and so this is just such a fun card that randomly exists that like really works, and it will probably not be in her deck going forward. Um, True. The thing is that I don't think the statues are that good yet. I think the statues only become good as the game goes on a little bit further. But I do agree. I think that's a good choice. And I control shipping, dude. Matthew Turner is thinking with his brain right now. That is not bad. I like that. Um, so yeah, the absolute insane storms. Elector, Sovereign of Birds is an insane card. This card is so good. Special summon itself from the hand if your opponent has two monsters of the same attribute. That happens all the time. Plus summon Storm to get out her five level 6 monsters. Garuda can special summon itself. Flying Kamakiri special summon stuff. She can her normal summons are Sky Scout and Wing Sage Falcos. She got Swallow's Nest. She's got a Call of the Haunted. She is always swarming, and Mahjong Munia Maidens I love in this deck. Hey Kai Guy, welcome back. You did not miss Misawa actually because I'm going so unbelievably slow. So, yeah, Mahjong Munia Maidens is like is so fun in this deck. I feel like it really works for her, and it is so good. It just lets her just mine through the deck. Kujaku is so bad. It's one of those other things that like it just comes down to the RNG stuff because they have the absolute not frick nature of True. This is what I was just about to talk about, Gungnir. It comes down to the RNG stuff. Like, I swear, if you guys this isn't the case so much when you're balancing one deck, when you're testing one deck. If you're testing 32 decks, this happens. This happens. This happened with Junko. Kujaku is like a completely random perfect example of this, of like a card that early on ended up like coming up kind of a lot. And like Then later, like it literally never comes up. It's just like the worst card in your deck. It just never does anything. It just somehow randomly, it's never good. And it's just one of those things that like when you're bouncing 32 decks, RNG wise, you're gonna have like runs with the deck where like a certain combo is like not with Kuju, not Kuju, of course, but like is like a certain combo is like busted. And then like that same combo will never ever come up. And it gives you a false impression of the deck. Like if you do if I test a deck 5 times, um, there's like a decent chance. I've tested every deck 5 times. Some of the decks are gonna get their testing is gonna just be wrong. It's actually not gonna be indicative of like how the deck actually plays. And so I think that's what happened with Judai, clearly. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's just like a Kuja is just like a randomly. I was like, oh, this card's actually like pretty good, and it's like, no, I mean for this low level, obviously, but like no, it's not. It is certainly not. It never goes off. So yeah, the field spells. I think that I kind of like the idea that like Duelist Kingdom was when the pros had these field spells 6 months ago, and now they've kind of trickled down to the rest of the like player base. So obviously there are a few field spells like Jurassic World and Skyscraper that are like unique for very specific players that have like that are very specifically good. But then everybody else is relegated to these just like weaker ones. And we are still in a power level. I think we've seen in the games that like, a well-placed mountain can actually make a pretty big difference. And of course, it is also an out to other field spells, which is mostly only relevant with Judai right now. But yeah, if you're playing against Judai, that does make a Skyscraper slightly weaker. No, you're 100% right, Kai. You're 100% right. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, and I like the magic and trap jammer for her. Just kind of here's the thing about this deck also is that you have to be so careful with your resources because Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, Magic Jammer, Trap Jammer all require discards. And if you're swarming the field, you suddenly find yourself in a position where you have no cards left in hand. You play Summon Storm, you just took 2 cards out of your hand right there. You special summon Garuda, you special summon Elector, suddenly you're out of cards in your hand. Mahjong Mania Maidens, you can draw, but you gotta discard too. So there have been a lot of games. This is actually Junko's biggest problem is that like she would love a Sinister Serpent. If she had a Sinister Serpent, her deck would be so good. But obviously she's never getting a Sinister Serpent. It's very off theme for her. But like that is the one card this deck needs to just be like way more powerful because she just often doesn't have the discards that she needs to make things happen. So yeah, that I think that ends up coming up a decent amount. Yeah. So anyway, Kabayama, I love this deck, guys. I love this deck. I'm so happy that I found a way to make this work. I will say, what is that? What are these cards called? These cards are unplayably bad. The ones that he used in the anime, they are truly, truly unplayably bad. You cannot these cards cannot be played. And I was very nervous because Curry Fiend Rue, its other effect is it gains 200 for each spice card in your graveyard. And I just didn't know if I could find a way to make Curry Fiend Rue ever work. I was like, this just can't work. I just can't do it. But the other effect is the one that I ended up focusing on. And finding Skull Lair was the key that I was missing. And I really love this deck. It has so many floats. Mystic Tomato, Tomato Knight, and Cherry and Mato. All of them being tomatoes. They all float. They just float all day. And then the Cherry and Mato, they go into 2 in Matos. All of a sudden, you go through one of these chains, you got like 4 or 5 cards in the graveyard from like one of these cards. And it just really matters. All those cards in the graveyard, you just float until you can get Skull Lair or Soul Release. Then you go into Curry Fiend Rue. And it's just like makes for like a really like solid deck that does one thing and it does it well. And that's just how it plays. And it's so much fun. I absolutely love this deck. It's also bolstered by solid yeah, no, exactly. And the thing is like, with a few slight changes, like you drop some of these Bean Soldiers, like there's a version of this deck that's like actually just like a lot more powerful. True, Kai, true. And then there are a lot of obviously Drawbread just came out. This is like a brand new card, but there are a lot of these other cards that I found afterwards that are like really like not bad for this level of play that also are totally on theme. that I would have liked to put in here potentially. Um, that if I made the deck again right now, I would. And then Big Burn is the other way to banish all cards. This card is this is another one of the cards that's in here, mostly because, well, the first reason is just because it's on theme. This looks like a grill or something. Like, it's like I'm grilling all my vegetables, Oh, you got all the tomatoes in the graveyard and you just grill them. You grill them, baby. You grill what am I doing in my life? But I love that. But it's also here because this is a Proctor deck and he can afford to run a card that is extremely situational and very often does not go off. We will see if he gets off Big Burn. I would love to see it. Bacon Saver banishes itself. You love to see it. And then like Man Your Bug is like probably the least thematic card in the deck. I needed Monster Destruction, but I wanted it to be Monster Destruction because again, we want to make sure that he's getting more cards into the graveyard, more monsters in the graveyard for Skull Layer, Soul Release, etc. So, and then it's got Eater in the name. It's not great. And then like, I don't know, like a bug in the kitchen or something. It's not, yeah, no, exactly. Ice Wave, exactly. Ice Wave. It's exactly what I was just saying. Like, it's like, like it's not great, but it's not so far off theme that it was like horrible. Same with Magical Merchant. I mean, Magical Merchant, like, because it's like could be selling food. Dude, Kai Guy, you are so smart. Bugs live on vegetables. Dude, you're spitting. You're spitting. That actually, I really like that. And Matthew Turner, I like that a lot too. That's such a great idea. The Ratatouille thing. And then I think that it also, if we put the giant rat in, then it becomes like a whole like second, like take out two of these bean soldiers, put in two giant rats, take out one other bad card. And all of a sudden it's like a infestation like engine as opposed to just like I'm trying to justify having man-eater bug. It's like no, like rats, bugs in the food. It becomes like a whole thing. Bugs live on vegetables. Blew my mind. You just blew my mind, Kai Guy. You really just did blow my mind with that. Oh really? Sokimaro. Wow, I didn't realize that. That's like so silly. You know what? That makes sense because when I was a kid, I remember this card being like insanely good, and coming back to it as an adult, I was like, it's not. I mean, I was wrong about a lot of cards as a kid. Let's be clear. I will never forget. Let me tell you, the very first time. Well, I'll finish what I was saying. That might be why I was. That might be why Skull Layer. I thought it was better than it was when I was a kid. Okay, here's this story. The very first deck I ever bought was the Yugi starter deck Evolution. I think it was the one with BLS. And it had 7 tools of the bandit in it. And I was literally like, I was in pre-K, maybe kindergarten. And I had to be able to read. So maybe I was in first grade. I read 7 tools of the bandit and I saw pay 1,000 life points to negate a trap. And I was like, this is the worst card ever printed. And I literally balled it up and threw it in the trash can. We all have those stories, right? Of just stupid things that we did with Yu-Gi-Oh! As kids. I threw it in the trash can. 7 Tools of the Bandit is a solid trap card that will probably find places in people's decks throughout all of Zero Chronicles. But let's just see if we want to see this. I want to see Naturia go crazy. Naturia, yeah, dude, I really, really like Naturia as well. I would love to see that. I love that is the singular reason you want to see this in 5Ds. No. Fucking you. Who is you say? I don't give a fuck about any of these people. No. Z1, Z boring, yawn, Z yawn, more like Z yawn. Am I right? No. It's because I want to see Naturia go crazy. Yeah, no, Ice Wave, exactly. I'm like, he's holding something here. There's something food related. Oh, Aviana, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your constant support. Obviously, you're the GOAT. You're the greatest. Appreciate you, and have a good night. Naturia is gonna be great. We don't know if it's gonna be great. We don't know if we're gonna get there, guys. Everybody just calm down, okay? We're not confirming 5Ds. If we got there, it would be great. Okay, Mikaga we all know this deck. We all know it very well. As I mentioned, the only difference between this and Yugi's deck at the time was -1 scapegoat, which he gave to Jinochi, and +1, I think, Destroyer Golem. This deck is super fun. It's super. I'm excited to see. How it does in the losers bracket. You know, having weaker monsters but much stronger spells and traps is so good. It's so fun. We've already seen this deck. We don't have to do a whole thing here. Shout out Satellite, thanks you for your donation. Copy of Seven Tools. True. That's what they, yeah. IRL, you own 50 decks. That is wild. That is a wild. No, Gungnir, I am truly like fully preparing to not ever do 5Ds, but I do have like I have a YDK somewhere. I don't think it's here. I have a YDK somewhere of all of the early 5Ds archetypes to make sure that in the same way that we needed a home for fucking man-eating black shark, I'm like, we need a home for every one of those fucking guys. We went a home for the worms, the lavels, the flambells, all of those fucking the allies of justice, the Watts. Every one of those garbage cards deserve, like, Watts are later, but deserve a home if 5Ds ever. I don't have the home for those, to be clear. I am not confirming that we're doing 5Ds, and I haven't even thought that far ahead as far as who or what would have those decks. But I did make like a YDK with those decks once because I was bored. And I wanted to see how many there were. So I'm with you. Yeah, the spell trap suite is insane. Mermail Atlanteans. I definitely was playing when those cards were good in the XCs era. I played that deck. I definitely play. I'm a big fan as well. Mermail Atlanteans, that's a deck that I'm familiar with. I know them well, and you're right. They're super fun. Penguin Soldier goes crazy. You're absolutely right, Kai Guy. Penguin Soldier is just like very, very, very strong at this level. It's like, thinking about the cards that can like, just it outs like all the fusions. It outs like so many things. If your opponent doesn't attack it, you can put it back in your hand and do it again. This card just goes like just nutso. Anyway, here we go. It's the Kaiser. It's no, Kaiga, yeah. I played them back in the Zexo era, but I have seen that they're back. Like, Mermails are back in like kind of a big way, right? Like, I don't know what I was watching recently, but is it OCG or Master Duel or TCG that they're like not just like around, but they're like good? They're like one of the best decks. Did I make that up? Yeah, they're doing the damn thing. I'm like really happy for them. So again, this is a deck with an actual strategy, so it's fun to talk about, although I've probably already beat it into the ground by now. It is stall till you get your pieces. You got Cyber Larva, you got Shining Angel, and if you're the Kaiser in the winner's bracket, apparently you have Pot of Avarice in every duel. The fact that there's one Pot of Avarice is like a major. It's Pot of Avarice, my favorite hero deck, apparently, because Judai and Kaiser cannot not draw these cards. The fact that Cyber Larva and Shining Angel are so annoying to play against is only balanced by the fact that like after like 2 or 3 turns, they're all gone. Not if you have Pot of Avarice in every game. So that is just been crazy. But yeah, you stall with those cards. You also stall using Metal Reflect Slime. Hopefully you get a Metamorphosis out of it, but if not, you still stall with Metal Reflect Slime. You stall with Cyber Jar. That's not as much stall as much as it is like get you into your combos right away. But it's basically like he's got a lot of different ways to get into Cyber End Dragon and Cyber Twin Dragon, and until he does, he's got a lot of ways to hold you off and or make that faster to get into those cards. So that's basically the strat here. And then, as I mentioned was this in a comment recently? I think this might have been a comment to you Ice Wave, maybe, about how in the anime, it is canon in the anime that the thing, yes, Sokimaro, yes, he runs so little monsters. This, I swear to you, this MFer was bricking. Okay, that is certainly the opposite of a brick. Nope, we can't call that a brick. The thing is, like, sometimes he just draws like 5 spells. It just never again, it's just one of those. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah. Okay, wait, let's see. Oh, Master Duel Worlds qualifiers. Yes. Okay, that's what I was watching, Ice Wave. That's what it was. I'm sure they're good in the TCG as well, Kai Guy. But I was watching something like very recently, and I think it was the Master Duel World qualifiers. Yeah, no, that's probably true, Kai Guy. I wouldn't say the most consistent as much. I don't know. Consistent is a specific kind of word. I don't. Okay, even if we accept that Judai bricking in my testing was a fluke, I wouldn't say he's most consistent. I think it's just that when he gets out his pieces, he's just like his plays are so good that it's like so hard to out his stuff. Like favorite hero, like the thing about Kaiser and Judai specifically, one of the things that sets them apart. Like I know, like Asuka has like command night lock, which is like very rare for this level of play. Like Kaiser and Judai have ways to like make you have a card on the field that like your opponent can like potentially not out. Like, how do they out heavy mech support armor, cyber, and dragon? Some decks don't have the out. I mean, they have two like non-targeting. Even we're just sticking to it with destruction removal, non-targeting destruction removal. Like, think about it at a low level of play. Like, how much of that even is there? How much of that is there in this deck? It's lightning vortex. That's like it. I mean, wall disruption kind of cyber jar. He's got cyber jar too. Like, it's very rare, right? So favorite hero and heavy mech support armor, they're in there specifically as like higher level plays that are like, if I get this out, you're in trouble. And that's kind of like it's like, okay, you get one of these, right? And so like the best decks have some of that stuff. But yeah, I'm just I wouldn't necessarily use the word consistent. I would say definitely Judai is like clearly like this one of the strongest. I wouldn't I'm not sure that you're wrong either, though. I'm not sure. It's an interesting concept. I don't know. It's interesting. I think okay, I guess I think Tyra and Kaiser are more consistent than Judai, but of course, what have we seen? I think an easier for Tyra would be Clockwork Knight. Well, the thing is that Clockwork Knight is before we would see that card because that card is just unbelievably strong in this kind of format. Um, main things, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, if they don't brick, then I guess that's true. I guess you're right. That if they don't brick, then that's just consistent. But like, okay, but the thing is, like, I don't think that most decks didn't brick. I don't think that many decks did brick. That's why, like, even if their plays are stronger, well, you know what? I think you're right. I think that Stratos makes Judai's decks. Yeah, you know what? I'm coming around. Now that I think about it, I think Stratos. I think you're right. I think you're right. I watched Duel thinking exam was the coolest thing, and now more than a decade later, I question how he drew into all of that so well. I know. I know. I know. Um yeah, Kai Guy, that's exactly I know there's a bit of a stream lag. That's exactly the conclusion that I just came to, which is like what am I saying? With 3 Stratos, that does make him. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And the other thing about Judai that makes his deck so strong, let me say, that I didn't really think that much about is I touched on this briefly. Every other deck has to draw into their spell trap removal, and like it's relatively rare. A, they only have mostly 2 copies of spell trap removal like in the whole deck, and B, they just have to draw into it. Stratos can obviously be searched. It can search other Stratoses. Judai always has a way to destroy spells and traps, which like nullifies a lot of the decks. Like it just makes like the fact that like so many decks need spell and trap stuff and they rely on, I mean, even just being cards that have a lot of traps in them, like battle traps or whatever. It's like no, I just have 3 Stratos. So like what do you oh, that's a trap? Like I don't really like do like I don't really do traps. Like I don't really like believe in traps. I just like destroy them. It's like what do you do? Yeah, 3 call 3 Shadows. Yeah. Look, if I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. He was bricking in testing. I don't know what to tell you. It's happened to me a lot though, especially because I was telling Icewave about this. I have a different. I want to make this a series at some point. I want to bring this back. I basically have. I don't know if people play Legacy of the Duelist. I have a custom version, like a remake of Legacy of the Duelist, not in the Legacy of the Duelist client. It's in EDO Pro, but it's basically my version of the Legacy Duelist concept where go through all the major duels throughout the show and build 2 decks that are designed to play against each other, specifically in a way that gets off the important plays from that episode. I've gone all the way through, actually up to where I saw of Zexal. So about near the end of season, near the end of the tournament arc, the big tournament arc in the beginning of Zexal, with the Vetrix. Well, no, not Vetrix. What the hell is that guy's name? The guy with the mask. I can't even remember his name now. Oh, it's so embarrassing. I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I don't remember his name. So I got pretty far with that. And I want to bring that back, but I promise you, I've learned one thing that I learned making that series. When you make two decks that are designed to be every time the point is for them to be 50-50 powerful. Like literally, if both players are playing perfectly, 50-50 chance for each one to win. And that is the case for every episode. When you do that enough times, you learn that whatever you think is balanced is not balanced. Like, I cannot tell you how frustrating it was. Because for those, I really wanted to get the balance just right, 50-50. So I would test those way more than I even test these decks. I would test those like over and over and over and over and over again. I'd be like, okay, 50%, 50%. Like, this is like exactly good. This deck gets its plays off like the right amount of time. This deck gets plays off the right amount of time. And then I would come back to it like a year later, like with like a friend, and be like, all right, let's run one of these. Like, let's watch an episode and then we'll run the game, and just like a fun little exercise. And he would be like, dude, this is super, like, what you're playing this broken ass deck. I have no chance. Like, I have no chance against you. And I'm like, yes, you do. No, I swear you do. Let's play again. Let's play again. Let's play again. And we run like 3 games in a row. And I'm like, guys, oh my God, guys, I swear I tested this for so long. And that's what I learned, that you can't trust when you're testing decks against each other. You just can't trust. Ever seen the full list? It's definitely more consistent than I thought it would look based on how you talked about it. But I've also done the try a few games for like 30 decks. So I told him, yes. That is exactly what happened. Honestly, I can't believe I just remember the subname of. Oh. Good job. All right. Anyways, the Kaiser Evolution Burst. That card's kind of bricky. Only has a few Cyber Dragons, but never went off. Let's see. No Heavy Storm for him, but does get Giant Trunade, which is very good. I love the custom limiter removal, custom poly in Jedi and the Kaiser's decks. Armored Cyber. We didn't get to see this card. Also goes crazy. The anime version of this card destroys any card your opponent controls. All they do is lose 1,000 attack until the end phase. This card is very, very good, and it has the classic Union effect as well. Yeah, you guys have seen it. This deck runs off Shining Angel. Shining Angel is like the main part of this deck. It's Shining Angel deck. Shining Angel into Light Hexo Fusion or Proto, and you just summon the other one. That's like your bread and butter play. Yeah, that's basically it. Trap Jammer is here to try to do OTKs a little better. He played it actually. He played against Edo in 57. Was that 57? That was 50. No, 57 is the one with. No, 57 is the one with Judah. It was 55. 56? 57. It might be 57. God, I don't remember. Anyways, what am I doing? Kenzan. Guys, Kenzan went crazy, right? Kenzan did so well. I'm like so happy with how well Kenzan did. The thing is, this deck went through a lot of iterations. The key was once I've landed on this like super broken skill card, I had to redo the deck again and like add, and like I was okay. I wanted to include some of these like dinosaur structure deck, like just bad cards, and also stuff like Archaeonics and stuff. But at first it was like, these cards are so bad. But once I put this in, I was like, hold on. Okay, hold on. This is good enough by itself to like carry the deck, and we can put some of these bad cards back in. This deck was so much fun. Yeah, this skill card put in so much work. So yeah, it's just big guy beatdown. Every monster basically gets 200 extra attack because of the skill card. I liked Eagle Eye as another version of Archaeonics, even though he never actually played Eagle Eye. It's just a way to work with this horrible new ultra evolution. We got to see so many of his like situational cards too, right? Like, not only did he got off no ultra evolution, he also got off like Hunting Instinct, but I guess isn't that situational. But he got off Hunting Instinct into Ultimate Tyranno against like Kaiser's Cyber Twin. It's like the perfect like one situation where like Hunting Instinct is like the perfect card, like both in like a storytelling like anime episode fight kind of way of like I get out Ultimate Tyranno after you get out Cyber Twin Dragon, but also just in like that's like the perfect way to use this card. Like, he got out Tail Swipe, won him the duel against Junko. Like, who is this guy? Like, I honestly I don't. This deck doesn't look that good, right? I think it's one of those situations where like I do think the Kenzan could like have totally just like gotten out in round one. I'm so glad. No, I mean like it's obviously a good deck. It's very funny. Anyway, yeah. Here's the Kenzan deck. I don't know. Anybody got any? We're kind of just moving here. Oh, this is Briar. Okay, yeah, originally Kohara, right? Yeah, Briar, man, what a guy! What a guy! Look at this absolute king. Look at this absolute king. How did he do it, man? Big Bang Shot is the worst card ever printed. I actually regret putting 3 copies in here. If I could do it now, I would not. Um, right, right. Yeah, right. Kenzan, yeah, low, yeah. It is like it's so beautiful to look at, especially once you know how well it did. It's kind of like, oh man, this deck is so fun. But yeah, I mean, Briar, man, I'm like, what was this? What was his secret sauce? I think part of it is that he's got like some high power monsters, like Xerian Universe and Rage Battlelocks. Spear Dragon is a 1900, which mostly the blues have 1900s, but it has the downside of being Spear Dragon. Yeah, Rampaging Rhinos, because you can float into it with Giant Rat, is very good because of that, of course. The 3 Rush Recklessly's go insane, and the 2 Robin Goblins as well are very good. This card, as I mentioned, is just basically don't be destroyed by battle one time. It doesn't really do anything else. A lot of stuff here just designed to put your opponent's monsters in defense mode. That's kind of the theme of the deck, is like piercing, putting your opponent's monsters in defense mode, using Shield Crush, and then yeah, they got Amber Pitfall, Kunai with Chain, and Earthquake to put them in defense mode, and then like kind of pierce them, Robin Goblin to take stuff out of their hand. Yeah, it's kind of just like, it's fun, it's thematic. I'm so glad it did so well. I'm like pretty shocked, but hell yeah, brother. Yeah. Kunasaki. Guys, we haven't gotten to see Kunasaki go off with his burn strategies. Wait, Matthew Turner, you honestly just blew my mind. I don't even know about that. That's actually, wait. Hold on. Hold on. You're spitting. You're spitting, man. How did I not think about that? You know what? Go in here. You know what? I need to write that down. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down. I'm put it that I have such a crazy system for writing down ideas. I have a phone notes app, and then every episode I go through that notes app and add all of the things that I take notes of into my outline in various places wherever it should go. So bad equips on opponent's monsters question mark deck. No, deck question mark, yeah. That could be an interesting theme. If I could find like some boss monsters that might go with that, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Kunasaki's deck. Listen. Let me tell you the one reason this deck exists. It is the underground tournament where David Rabb either won or got second place. I spent all that whole episode. I think he was in another one before that. I was like, Cyber Summon Blaster, my entire life, have been like, this is an unplayably bad, irredeemably horrible. It doesn't matter how low the power level is. This card is bad, and I will never believe that it's good. And I then saw David Rabb get like second place in the Master Era Underground, and I was like, what? I was like, what? And I went back and I watched every one of his games. Like I really watched closely. And obviously Cyber Summon Blaster wasn't like the number one key card. And this deck is obviously very different than David Rabb's, but it made me realize that at least a deck that runs 3 bricky Cyber Summon Blasters is like, it can still do it. It can still go the distance. And so I learned in that moment. I was like, you know what? Hold on. This can do something. And this does Cyber Summon Blaster even better than that David Rabb deck. Let me tell you something right now. UFO Turtle. Float into UFO Turtle, that's 300. Float into UFO Turtle, that's 300. Float into Division. You've just done 900. Division during your next turn. Summons 2 tokens. That's 300 more. You just did 1,200. Each token that's destroyed, they take 500 for each one. That's 2,200 off of 1 UFO Turtle. Machine assembly line. All you need is 1 monster destroyed. You bring the Division back. That's 300 more. Then use Division again. 300 more. Then the 2 tokens get destroyed. That's 1,000 more. Guys, it adds up. You got the Mecha Bunnies. Now, unfortunately, they don't proc Cyber Summon Blaster because they go face down. UFO Turtle into Division Machine Assembly Line is the bread and butter of this deck, and I swear it works. And you got Drone Corporal, which can attack directly to do a little, just basically like 800 burn. Shredder is decent monster removal. Obviously, Cannon Soldier MK2 is more burn. Blue Thunder T45 is the least thematic card in the deck. I think that every other card kind of works as like a spy gadget kind of thing. Yeah, he's definitely like a Momo's deck, but for machines. Like every one of these I could see on some level being like a spy. Like Spell Counselor looks like one of those Spy Kids watches or something. Drones, we've got shredders to get rid of documents. UFO Turtle probably is also not quite on theme, but it's just UFO Turtle, so it's not like, you know, it's like, ah, well, the floaters are gonna be the floaters. We got more drones here. Even Mecha Bunny feels like, what am I thinking of? It feels like maybe like you like you like put this little thing and then you kind of send it and then like explodes or something. Like, I don't know. This still reminds me of something that like a spy might have, like a little, maybe it's a little like spy thing or whatever. Um, these all feel like gadgets, and then it's just like, yeah, it's just like a spaceship. That's a spaceship. No, I mean, you're not wrong. Oh, you know what? Kai Guy, you're not wrong. Jet plane. The thing is that it's definitely meant to be a spaceship, right? But like, it could just be a jet plane. It could easily be a jet plane. Yes, yes, Gungnir. Yes, 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 yes. No, but Kai Guy, that's so good. I really like that. It's his getaway plane. It's his getaway plane. Oh, we're so back. We're so back. I never loved the Blue Thunder, but it just did so much work in the deck. He needed a beater. Look at his low power. He needed a beater. You guys saw Blue Thunder was the key card against Asuka. It just did so much work. And of course, 300. You get 300 burn off the Thunder option token, and then it just can attack immediately. This card is like absolutely crazy in low power formats. But yeah, like the Spider Drone in Spy Kids. And then we've got a bunch of other fun cards. Autonomous Action Unit steals opponents. You know, it's just like a machine card, I guess, machine-ish. But Security Orb, Bad Aim, Pulse Mines, Magic Deflector, Compulsory Activation Device, Guard Mines, this specific art of Widespread Ruin. These are all just gadgets, man. It's all just feels so, I just thematically, I love this deck. It's so much fun. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? There was there was actually like 3 cards here, and they're not here right now. Something must have gone wrong with the save, but it was there's something else. I was thinking about adding what is it called? Like, no, hold on, rescue something, not rescue ace. I forgot the name of this card. It's like no, it's backup. It's backup something. I know it is backup team. This thing. Are those sports players? No, this probably doesn't work as well as I thought it did, honestly, now that I think about it. These guys kind of look like spies. Are those UA? I think those might be UAs. Intercept, though. I really like Intercept in this deck, potentially. Just for cards that I was thinking about adding. Yeah, Bad Aim went crazy. Yeah, so I like this deck a lot. Those are UAs, right? Yeah, those are totally UAs. I don't know why I thought that those would go in like a spy deck. Those are just fully just like futuristic sports players. Lyoside and Kurosaki actually have very similar decks. In fact, I think that in a very, very early version, like super early, I think Kurosaki might have had. No, you know what? Yes, Kurosaki had Lyoside's deck or a version of Lyoside's deck. And then I think I saw that David Rab thing around the time that I also came up with some different ideas for Lyoside on like going forward as for why I really wanted this deck for him. These two were kind of, it wasn't quite this deck, but it was like a little bit different version of this deck. I think that Lycanthrope was like the main. I think Lycanthrope used to be Kunosaki's. I think that's what it was. But anyway, this deck has gone through a lot of changes since then anyway. But yeah, I love this idea of like, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of like a hunter. Like you know, these beast warriors that kind of like would like just like they're coming for you. They're coming to the forest. They're tracking like something about that really works for me. And then combined with these like machines that are also like bounty hunt. It's like a bounty hunter deck. Like all these cards like feel like they would be bounty hunters. Like there's futuristic bounty hunters and there's like these like you know, what's the word? Like low tech, like beastly bounty hunter kind of things, and then they converge with the fusion materials or the fusion monsters. So that's kind of the idea here. I love Pump Action Commando. This card is so fun and silly. Um, these two cards are like really good actually. Like Electro Blaster goes kind of crazy. And then there's like the Beast Warrior, and then like the places you can combine the Beast Warrior machine together, like Cybernetic Cyclopean, like such a perfect card. And I think I said this in the video. This card, I have thought this card is horrible for what year is it? 2020. God, it's 2025. 20 years. 20 years now. I have been like, this card is irredeemably bad. This is a horrible card that should never be used in any deck, even when I was a child. And I was basically right about that. Let's be clear. I'm right. But this card puts in a little bit of work at this low level. It's actually not bad at all. Especially once you like start ritual summoning, you get a bunch of stuff out of your hand. I mean, this card has decided games, I will say. Um Panther Warrior and Lycanthrope deck. Yeah, I know, right? Like it just kind of works. It just works. It goes back to, I don't know how many people watch the full Duelist Kingdom, but like it goes back to like the deck building philosophy of like find a cool boss monster and that's your theme. Like that's your whole like that's your rock, and then you build everything else around it, and then you go to these. Okay, well he's a Beast Warrior. Let's go to Beast Warriors. What we got here? Who kind of reminds me of Lycanthrope? Panther Warriors kind of, well, the other Panther Warrior art I think is a little better. And like, oh, this is X Saber. Obviously, I'm not gonna be running X Sabers at this point, but you kind of look for stuff like that, and then it's like, okay, well, the Beast Warriors, maybe a few of these, like Gene Warp Werewolf, definitely is kind of Lycanthrope-ish. Okay, well, let's go to, okay, we got the Beast Warriors. Let's look at the machines. Okay, what machines kind of, and that's kind of just how I do it. Um, and then, if I really can't find anything, I kind of start going through other ones. And I'm like, is there anything else that could work here that's not explicitly one of those? So yeah, that's the process, baby. Wait, Gungnir, what the fuck? You're right. You're right. You're fucking right, dude. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. I never noticed that. Oh my God. Dude, you just blew my freaking mind with that. Holy crap. Holy crap. Yes. I'm so glad that I'm really glad that this broke my rule though. I don't know. Oh, you might not have been here for that. I have that one rule of the cards that I don't put in are cards that are in 5Ds, Zexal, Arc V, or Vrains in somebody's deck in case in some crazy way the series goes on long enough that we get there. But it was too good for Lyoside, and I was like, this guy's like a small character. It'll be fine. So I don't know. If we ever get there. I don't know if we ever get there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that character. But oh yeah, no. So can Morrow. Yeah, Lyoside used to fuck me up with that Demise deck in Tag Force 1. He used to just eat my ass, man. He didn't used to eat my ass. Let me just clarify. He actually didn't. He didn't used to do that. He used to beat my ass for sure. Yeah, dude, that Demise deck, I remember it very clearly. But yeah, but I think is I went with the ritual theme, right? And that was important to me. He was a big, like, kind of famously a ritual duelist back in Tag Force. But yeah, Demise, we're saving Demise for other characters. Here's another thing, Dark Sentinel. This card was also in Kunasaki's deck at first, but it's too good, actually. It will definitely be in the next version of Kunasaki's deck. This card is insane. One set card your opponent controls. Guess what? It doesn't say spell or trap. Oh, this is where I had backup squad. It was in Lyosides. Right. Okay, my bad. It doesn't say spell or trap. It doesn't say monster. It can do either one. It can do it every turn. This is like play around Nobleman of Crossout on steroids. This card is just insanely powerful. Lyoside's deck is slightly weaker than Kunasaki's, and it was slightly less just overwhelmingly good. And also, he's like a professor, so I feel like it was fine for him to have this. Stim packs, I like these because it's just like, it kind of is the whole like Cybernetic Cyclopean, like, it's kind of like the Mimic, not the Mimic of Doom. I always get them confused. It's kind of like the Mr. Diamond theme that I was going for in Duelist Kingdom, of like just like altering the like bodies of these creatures. Stim pack is just, I don't know, just kind of works for me. And then all of these hunting cards: Bear Trap, Invisible Wire, Trap Hole Spikes. Wall of Disruption is Machini. You know, you get the idea. This is Last Sight's deck. I'm very excited about it. We'll see how well he does. I do wish that I found Intercept early enough to add this because I do like this card for this deck. Manjome, poor guy, our king. What happened to him? What happened to him? Hey, hey, king. What is the? Why can't I remember this phrase? You dropped your crown. What is it? What am I? Why can't I remember it? Your crown is falling. I don't know, man. He's coming back in losers, man. He's coming back. Like Cooper, I'm a huge Manjome fan, so I still want to see him do very well in losers. We'll see how he does. Yeah, this deck is very good. It's very, very good. Chthonian Emperor Dragon goes crazy. Like, we didn't even, I mean, Briar was kind of so good, but like, so we really didn't even get to see this thing go off. He always had the rush recklessly. Like, this card is just like an OTK machine. I mentioned this in one of the comments. I think this was maybe to Aviana or someone. That Junko and Manjome were like the test decks to like basically with every tournament so far at least. I've picked two easy to play simple decks to build as the sort of baseline test decks. I still test against other decks, but Manjome and Junko, because I kind of had a good idea for how powerful they were. They were the Kai guy, yo, oh no, oh man, I'm sorry that your Misawa was literally next. Dude, Kai guy fucking loves Misawa. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that we didn't make it to Misawa, man. But hey, real life, you know, girlfriend, you got to do it, man. This is going so late. What did we? Let's get a temperature check on time. Do we want me to kind of just speed run through the rest of these? It is getting pretty late. How we feeling about this? Hate Buster, not bad, not bad. Let's see, how many fiends does he actually have? He's got a decent amount of them, actually. Yeah, it's not a bad move. It's not a bad move. The problem is that well, there's a different problem with that, and I won't say what it is. Although, if you know the Manjome character, you probably know what the problem is with suggesting updates to this version of the deck. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna kind of speed run the rest of these. Just anything kind of big that I want to point out, and I will not point out the things that I pointed out in the video already, like how Chthonian Alliance goes crazy. Yeah, let's move on. The one thing I will say about Misawa is his biggest downside is just like Junko, it is card advantage. He has a lot of cards that require discards, like Magic Chamber, like Magic One, like Dark Core, like Cranium Fish, like Tribe Infecting Virus. And in fact, there's a pretty fun thing coming up next time for Misawa related to this. So we'll see that hopefully when we see Misawa again. But yeah, we've seen this. Cranium Fish is so much fun. Yes, you are right, Tokenmaru. And the thing is, I originally had Chthonian Blast anime, but EDO Pro took it so literally that they, in the anime, it technically wasn't drawn as a quick spell. Also, this is not hate on the anime scripters for EDO Pro. These motherfuckers put in work. They put in so much work. They make this all possible. But they changed it to being a normal spell in EDO Pro. No, you know what? Now that I think about it, in episode 2, I think that it wasn't. I think that they're actually like. Obviously, the artwork has quick play because it used to be on here. But now this is like activating something in my brain where I feel like last time I saw episode 2, it's weird. It's hard to tell. I think that technically he plays this in main phase 2 as a normal spell. I think that the fact that it's a quick play spell is like, I need to rewatch it. But for some reason, when I'm looking at this as a normal spell and I'm saying that it was in main phase 2, that like activated something deep in my like lizard brain where I feel like I had that realization at one point. That might not be real, but it was super weird. It like basically was a quick play, but it seemed like it might have been a main phase 2 thing. Anyway, yes, Manjome does change his decks a lot. We don't know what's gonna happen. Oh my gosh, guys, I have to explain this. Remember when I was like, oh, the Dreamer, it doesn't work with the effect version of this card. No. Moki King is the one that doesn't work. Okay, Tokumar, you might be right. Because it's been a while since I've checked that. This card, by the way, this is a Duel Links skill. Dog. It says if all monsters you control are Moki Moki, effect monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned. Dog, Moki Moki King is an effect monster. And it's a Moki Moki monster. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Moki Moki King is unplayable in this deck. I think by the next time we see Mokeo, if he's still using this, if everything is still the same, if the next time we see him is relatively at some point where this is still relevant, I will probably get someone to edit to. I will probably pay someone to edit this script to make it to where it doesn't just turn off Moki Moki King. Yeah, true. So yeah, we've seen this. Someone recommended, I think it might have been, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Kai Guy or someone recommended running Law of the Normal for when he's out of Mokis, and that is a great idea. Basically, it's just Tri-White, and Pianissimo was a fun pick here. It's like a fun staple for him that I thought was cute. Not much more to say on this. We're gonna speed run. We're gonna speed run here. Yeah, he absolutely does. He does. The thing is, that I went back at the problem with the orders. You were right. But here was my thing with them was that they just weren't like thematic enough. Like every other card, I guess, except maybe Tri-White and Channing Room, maybe to a bit of extent. Like, he's just like a chill guy, and these are like military cards. It's just I had these in there. You're right, and the deck was better with them. But I was just I don't know something about it. Raigeki Break, even that feels like he's got like the sky. Like I almost feels like it's just like they're in the sky, and like he gets struck with something. That's still. I mean, I literally just needed another form of removal for his deck, and I settled on Raigeki Break. Speak on that, Gungnir. I'm not sure I'm quite seeing Order to Charge, Order to Smash, Human Wave Tactics. Thematically, obviously, like functionally, those cards go insane together, 100%. But I don't know. I'm not seeing how they thematically go together. You have to catch me up on that. Oh, I kind of like this. I kind of like it. Oh, you know what else? You know what? You're spitting here because this has Freed the General. This has Dark Ruler Hades. Guys, these might be two leaders of armies. Let me tell you who's another leader of an army. This bad boy right here, the Moki Moki King. Smash. You can just imagine him giving the order to chart. You know what? I'm sold. Matthew Turner plus Gungnir, you guys have sold me on these two cards for Mokeo. I'm 100% in. I'm down. I'm fucking in. We're doing it next time we see him, if that ends up still being relevant, which I can't promise that it would be. Momo. So sad. She had the worst matchup of all time. Yeah, no, yes, exactly, Matthew Turner. Yeah. Now I do see that. And like the thing is, like I don't like necessarily like, oh, Mokeo wouldn't necessarily do that, but like I don't know, he kind of would. It's kind of a fun concept. I like it a lot, actually. You guys have convinced me 100% on that. Momo's deck was really tough to balance. This actually had to go through quite a few rounds of nerfs and then buffs and then nerfs and then buffs and got it where it was. I'm kind of happy with where it is, although I hope it does well in losers. Well, no, you're definitely right about it being. I think that my only issue was like I didn't necessarily see Mokeo being the kind of guy to send the Moki Mokis off to their death, but he kind of, I kind of see it. I don't know, like there's something about it that kind of just works for me now, in a way that it didn't before. I just didn't really think about it like this, with like the Moki Moki King and kind of. Like he's always the thing. Okay, here's the thing: it's at Moki Moki SmackDown. He's already like their friends are like dying. He's already kind of sending the friends to die. So it kind of works. But yeah, Momo, yeah, it's just burn without a huge amount of stall. The best version of the stall is the big butts. And against some decks, they have a really hard time dealing with those. Got very little monster removal, but yeah. And the thing is that she stalls well enough. Just like it's kind of like whose deck did we talk about that earlier? Oh, that was America's, where it's like she doesn't have like floodgates per se, but she has enough like Wabakus, floaters, things like that to kind of just like take the game while you have to just beat through all of her monsters. She's got like 5 monsters on the field, and they're all floaters, and they're all fencing, fire, ferreting, and it's just all a mess. I mean, her deck is very good. I think that I was thinking about it again, and I think that I got when I was saying, oh, Junko and Momo are like 50-50 against each other, and it's actually not true. I think that they're 50-50 I think they're equally strong against others. Maybe is maybe what I meant. Maybe Junko. I do think Junko is stronger. But when I was saying that, maybe 60-40. When I was saying that, I was thinking like against others, against each other. Yeah, Junko's like beats Momo 10 times out of 10. She's just way too fast. Um, but I do think they're around the same power level generally. It's just that it's a bad matchup for Momo there. The thing about Momo's deck, I will say before we move on, is that so much of this is actually really important. And I've been meaning to say this like for so long, and I keep forgetting. You would not believe how many character, like for almost every character, honestly, for so many of them, the character themselves comes as a result of a part of the deck building. I know that we're going to be moving fast, but this is actually, I really been wanting to say this. Like the deck building dictates the character in ways that are like really like important. Here's an example. I never liked Dark Room of Nightmare in Momo's decks. Like in Tag Force, in Master Era, I was always like, that doesn't fit for me. She's so bubbly. She's so nice. She's so this, right? That trying to make Dark Room of Nightmare work for her in my head thematically is where I came up with the whole idea of Momo liking the unsettling creatures, which is now, I would say, like a huge part of her character. It's the whole reason she has Skulldog Marone. And that also explains why like Desk Koala, Creepy Coney, like and then she's still got the Nightmare Wheel. That also leaves room for stuff like Revenge Sacrifice. And the thing is, I feel bad because I didn't actually lean into that enough with this version of the deck. But like next time, I want to see stuff like Drill Barnacle. Like I do want to see more out there monsters as well to kind of go along with that, because that was kind of relatively late addition to Momo's character. So the thing is, that's just one example, but like that happens so much where I'm like, I really want to put this card in someone's deck and I can't explain why it would be there. Let me add somebody to their character to make that work. Let me see if I can think of another. Oh, we have to move on. We have to move on. But there are many, many examples. Like so much of the characters that I write are just because like I'm like, I want to put this card in their deck, and it doesn't really work with who I have in my mind. So what am I gonna change about them? Anyways, Modatani, not a huge amount to say here. He's rocks. Multiple piece golem. Oh, it's a Jack Atlas card. I know. But what does he play at one time, and it doesn't like really match any of the other stuff that he has. And it's the fusion era, and multiple piece golem sucks ass anyway. And it's just kind of the perfect card for him. I'm sorry. It's kind of perfect. It's kind of perfect. Fossil Hammer, Miracle Rupture, etc. You get the vibe. Ohar, this is Beauregard. Another deck that weirdly has 41 cards, I think by accident. This deck needs weapon change. If it doesn't weapon change, it's bad. But we've already know that. It's Stronghold Guardian, weapon change deck, and Magnum Shield deck. Reflection damage with the big defense, and or changing them to attack with weapon change. Here's a fun thing. Guard draw plus Big Shield Gardna is something I didn't find until too late, but this is such a fun combo to do damage to your opponent and draw an extra card. Hello. Somebody needs to add that to the deck. So yeah, Ron, love this deck so much. I love this deck, guys. I love this deck. So 3 times. Oh, 3 times. Wow. That's actually like a lot more than I thought. Mega Rock Dragon, Matthew Turner. That's one that I might actually do for Modatani. I'm still deciding who to give Mega Rock Dragon to. It might go to Modatani. Mega Rock Dragon is cool as shit, bro. I love that card. I completely agree. That's the only thing that it's still holding off for me for giving it to Modatani. Is like I want to make absolute sure there doesn't come a rock monster. I mean, a rock character that I really want. That I really want to like have. That that I'm like, oh, Mega Rock Dragon would be a perfect boss monster for this character, before I give it to someone like Modatani, who's kind of a dunce, wasting Mega Rock Dragon on a dunce. But no, he deserves to have cool cards too. You know what? You're not wrong about Spike Shield with Chain. I've actually already made the next version of Beauregard's deck. And I wonder why. I had Spike Shield in mind. There was maybe a reason. I mean, the thing is that there were other ways that I filled the gaps that he needed. But I think maybe it was because like, no, you're right. I should have put Spike Shield with Chain in there. You're absolutely right. That should have gone in there. That should definitely be in there. I have no idea why I didn't do that. I had it on Spike Shield with Chain is in Isano's deck. I've fully like thought of it. It's in my deck. It's in my YDKs. You're making great points, Matthew Turner. You got 2 in a row that I'm like, these are great points. Ron's deck, I absolutely love. Love this deck so fucking much. I love this deck. She got her queen, she got her princess, and then she got all of the. Then she got the knight, she got the sword beetle, the guard mantis, and wasn't there one more? Maybe that's in the next version of the deck. Anyway, then you got the pawns. The pin chopper's a pawn, resonant is a pawn, howling insect, those are the pawns. The thing is, you know what? I'm just gonna put that. The thing is, I have to look back at. Oops. I have to look back at the new version of his deck to see how that would go. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The thing is that you kind of can already force them to attack by just putting stuff face down. But you know what? No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I got to think about that. I got to think about that. The thing is, a lot of these things, I'm like, I know that I solved some of these issues, but I don't remember how I solved them. So I'm trying to see if this would be redundant or if I'm like, wait, no, I still do need to put something like Sonic Defender in there. It's a good point. Okay, Ron. Let's see. Yeah, we've kind of already been through all this. Insect Pheromone is like so bad, but it's so fun. If you get this thing off, it's so fun. It's so fun. She's also got the Revenge Sacrifice. Oh, here's something. I don't know if anybody caught this during the games. Shrink, miniaturize to shrink it down to the size of a bug. Because I'm in 3008. I don't know where you guys are. I'm in 3008, brother. I'm doing things no one's ever thought of before. I'm doing things no one's ever thought of before. This is just one look into my sick, twisted mind. We won't be seeing DNA surgery in her deck anymore because I wanted to find a way to differentiate her from Haga. She will still have a very similar strategy, but it won't be DNA surgery specifically. And that's just random. But so much fun. Insect Pheromone is just such a silly card. Insect Neglect. Well, the thing is that I like the thematic element there. I'll throw that in here to remember. The thing is that I don't want this in yet because we are not yet in the era of this is like all the sort of like generic, like Insect has so many just like generic good ass cards, but I don't want cards that are like Floodgate E yet for the Academy level, except for obviously we got Command Knight. We got the Marauding Captain as well. But that's different. The difference is that spell trap removal is way more of a premium in Duel Academy level than monster removal. And that's why, like, in that Misawa segment, I was like, everybody in the Pro League wants Heavy Storm, MSC, and Dust Tornado. Once we get to a point where every duelist or every duelist has at least 3 forms of spell trap removal, then I'm more comfortable putting. Honestly, this has to banish for every attack declaration though. I thought this card was better than it was. I think for some reason I thought this ended the battle phase. You're absolutely right. This should be in there. You're absolutely right. Once again, you're spinning. You're absolutely spinning. You're absolutely spinning, Max. You're absolutely spinning. You're absolutely fucking spinning. So yeah, that doesn't actually apply. This is every attack. It's not a floodgate. What? Oh, I have to attack like 5 times. Get over it, buddy. But yeah, in general though, like there's a whole genre of cards. Skyscraper is kind of this genre, to be honest. There's a whole genre of cards called "If you don't destroy me, I win the game." That's what I call them, or "Draw the out or lose." That's what I call them, and it's basically like Toon Kingdom, Heavy Metal Raiders. That's why they're so good. Pegasus and Bandicooty, they're so good. Toon Kingdom, Heavy Metal Raiders, Obliterate is another one of these. There's so many. Dark Sanctuary, Fairy Box. And I don't want to be playing Draw the Out or Lose Yu-Gi-Oh! Yet, but it's coming. It's coming. But again, Insect Neglect isn't actually one of those. I always thought it was, but I guess I never read it that closely. Bin K would ruin her grave with that card. What do you mean Bin K? Wait, which card? Oh, yeah, like Bin K attacking like a bunch of times. Yeah. I got you. Ray, guys, I love this deck. I freaking love this deck. This is another one of the decks that like I specifically nerfed, and after seeing it, like it's like this deck did not need nerfs. It did not need nerfs at all. I know that a lot of people in the comments were like, this deck could never do. I have built a version of this deck that is absolutely dastardly. It is dastardly, and it runs on the Maiden in Love slash unhappy girl combo. It involves three magician of faiths and a bunch of spell cards that steal. And but the core of the deck is still there, and I think I nerfed it slightly too much. Um, no. No. I agree. This version of the deck was too weak. It was weaker than I'd hoped it was. But I'm just saying, there is a version. I have a opinion that every obelisk should have a draw the out or lose card. That doesn't make sense. No. I mean, I like that, Matthew Turner. I do. The problem, well, the thing is, I guess the thing is, like, what do you mean by draw the out or lose card? Like, do you mean like a card like Toon Kingdom, like Dark Sanctuary? Because the thing is, like, those cards like aren't even in the the pros only just got access to Gravity Bind and Messenger of Peace. So while you're right, I agree. I don't know if we're there yet. I mean, if you mean draw the out or lose in the sense of just like a strong card, I don't know if that's different. That's different. And the thing is that it limits deck building because the rest of the duelists, when you do that with spells and traps, you have to have, in my opinion, at least 3 spell trap removal cards in every deck to play cards that you need to draw the out or lose, like Floodgates, like all those other cards I mentioned. You just have to, every deck in the format has to be built around the fact that some people have draw the out or lose. Um, and it's just like the format just wasn't built around it. I just don't think we're there yet. But I agree. I do like that thematically. I like what you're saying. I think that like going forward as we get into stronger eras, like I think that could definitely work. Okay, you guys are sleeping on Ray's deck. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I know that we have to get out of here. We have to get out of here. I'm gonna find this other. Let me see. Where is this? Oh no, it's not there. Hold on. I've got this YDK. This is from another format that I made for me and my friends. And this is actually, if I didn't discover Master Era, this is probably what I would have been doing. Character tournaments that do not have a story and are everyone always just has the same deck, but similar in a lot of ways to what we're doing now. Ray Satome's deck was dastardly. Okay, it's every deck has 50 cards because it was meant specifically to. Oh wait, hold on. No. Oh my god, what am I doing here? It was meant specifically to slow down the format so that decks could run better cards without them being just like always, just like making them just always win. Sorry, I'm trying to do 2 things at once here. Streaming is hard, man. How do people do this? Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. Okay. So every deck, keep in mind that every deck is 50 cards in this. Okay. This is the whoa, Sokenmaru. How did you know? Dimension Wall. Yeah, brother. This is okay, to be clear, it's only dastardly insofar as like how strong are the other cards in the form, how strong are the other decks in the format. But why are you buying? No, Matthew Turner, you're right, but they don't have those strong cards you're talking about. Like they don't have those cards are new to the world. And this is what I was talking about, Gravity Bind and Master of Peace. Those cards like literally just came out in the pros. Like, and there is a bit of a suspension of disbelief. Like, it seems like the Children of Nobility would probably get access to like the best cards, but more realistically, the whole like game, I mean, the whole like format that I've created is built around the fact that pros have better cards than students, and that's just how it is. So like even in the pros, very few pros have those. And so yeah. So anyway, um oh, Tag Force play Dimensional. Guys, this deck went crazy. The 3 Magician of Faiths, the Change of Heart, Pillager, because it's like a lot of stealing as well. This deck went crazy. I'm just saying, it went crazy. It went crazy. You might not think it did. This deck went absolutely nutso. It went nutso. And people don't believe me. They don't believe me. No, they don't. They don't believe me, folks. I even nerfed it a bit. Some of these cards were in here. Anyway, whatever. What are we doing right now? Yo, Burden of the Mighty is a great pull here. That had to have been considered at some point. I can't believe I never considered that. Why have I never considered Burden of the Mighty for Ray? Wow. Yeah, that's going in there for sure. For sure. That's like a perfect pull. It's a perfect pick for that. Ryota, we've already talked about Ryota. Poor guy. Poor guy. Let me tell you, this card is coming in the next version of his deck with Enchanted Fitting Room. This is, I think that Monjomi did this in the duel where he had only level 2 or lower normals against his brother or whatever. Desperado Manager into Enchanting Fitting Room. Crazy. Crazy. Oh, there you go, Matthew Turner. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like I just, and also, you know, it's Pegasus. I can see because he's releasing them, he doesn't want the nobles to get them. He doesn't really like them. So yeah. But yeah, this is just, you know, it is what it is. The occult jewelry and mirrors and things like that. Just also just like creepy stuff. This deck is really bad. There's more stuff to be said about later. Well, never mind. We'll wait until then. Oh, it was against Adrian Gecko. You're absolutely right, Tokimaro. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I just watched that episode recently too. Yep. Seiko, guys. It's animals doing human shit. Animals dressed up. You got to have clothes on. You got to have at least some kind of clothes on or be rescuing somebody. I love this deck so much. I love it so much. This is the coolest deck ever. Manga doesn't have clothes, but he looks like he's in the middle of a rescue, okay? A few things here. So this thing is Burden of the Mighty is in this one. You know, just representing her underdog. Mini Guts. We never got to see Mini Guts, man. This card goes crazy in low power formats. Mini Guts, Burden of the Mighty, Dog King, you know, these super rush recklessly, set uppercut. Love set uppercut. Look, this is like the perfect trap for her. Looking at the artwork there, that's exactly her vibe. United Front, of course, Master of Hammer, Boss Monster. The Pre-Errata Rescue Cats, which are really just there to swarm the field with these things and try to do as much damage as you can, and or tribute them for like mini guts or for super rush recklessly, etc. Because you can't like sync off with them or anything like that, of course. So yeah, super cool deck. Hope we get to see more of it in Losers. Show. Not much more to say about Show that we haven't already seen. We've already seen Show, and people are losing steam here. We're going to bed. I get it. We're getting out of here. Anything in particular to say here? Oh, I want to talk about the Rocket Warrior inclusion. UFO Roid Fighter obviously he doesn't have Tempest or anything, but Rocket Warrior I think is a really thematic, like machine-ish pick. That's still a warrior and is still kind of baby mode. It looks like a baby kind of card, like a kid. So I feel like it very much fits him as a UFO Roid Fighter target. Also, didn't he use this for his UFO Roid Fighter target in Spirit Caller? I know he had Kanan the Sword Mistress. I might have had Rocket Warrior in there as well. No entry anime is crazy. This is the worst card ever made. This is Wabaku, but your opponent draws one card. This is Wabaku, but only for machines, and your opponent draws one card. Great. No, super cool. That's like super great. It's like really awesome show. That's like a really great card that you have there. That's really, I never thought about that. Yeah, definitely. You get the Psych Roid, you get the Rescue Roid, you get the Jet Roid, you get the Patch Roid, you get the Ambulance Roid. Just the worst cards ever. But I have ideas for how to make this deck, you know, get up one level and hopefully do a little bit better next time. Tyra, the man, the myth, the legend. I don't need to explain anything in his deck because guess what? You've seen every card in his deck already because he has played his whole deck. He's drawn through, I mean, literally everything. No, literally every single card in this entire deck we've seen already in the tournament. We saw every one of these cards. There's nothing more to say. You've seen it. You know it. He's got what an amazingly fun. I'm having so much fun every time he comes on screen. I am losing it. I love this motherfucker. He's the best. He's so much fun. Tanaka is Tanaka. Poor guy. I had a lot of fun coming up with Tanaka's like staples. Battle Break, Over Exaggeration. It's actually like maybe the best card in his deck. Over Exaggeration, Battle Break, Guts Guard, Limit Reverse. Just like these little guys, the underdogs. One day maybe Tanaka the underdog. I have some cool plans for where Tanaka's deck could go. Some actually very, very recently I've thought through some ideas of what Tanaka's deck could go. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. Why did there's so many eras of Yu-Gi-Oh that they're just mass producing absolute garbage that's just not worth anything. Let's see. Anything more to say here? Oh, you know what? The thing is that I kind of did a little bit of a post op once Tanaka. Like, did he win? I think he won the first Dual Academy tournament, right? In Master Era. He didn't just like get top three. I think he actually won. And the thing is that I think I kind of did like a post op on what that was. The thing is that insect engines are like just really good. I mean, Tanaka winning the Dual Academy tournament and then Haga going on to win, or Weevil in Master Era, going on to become King of Games like shortly after that. Like insects just have so much good stuff. You know, Resonance Insect, Howling Insect, Pinchopper just by itself is like such a great like little just like toolbox that gets you just everything you want. The Resonant Insects add the stuff to your hand, the Pinchopper special summon them, they all float. So I do think that Tanaka has a I mean, he's just compared to everybody else in the tournament. I mean, he can't win against a lot of decks, but I think he can win against a lot of them as well. I think he can do better than it seems because insects are just kind of good. The problem is, yeah, his staples are ass. I mean, he has no non-conditional destruction. All of his destruction requires you to destroy your own monster, like Cure the Pain or Over Exaggeration. It requires your opponent to not have like the out, like Battle Break. Paralyzing Potion is it's just not good. 4-star Ladybug of Badoom is like fine, I guess. Wabakuba, your opponent draws one. Some very niche applications for other. You're gonna have to explain that one to me, Gungnir. I'm not sure I'm seeing that. I'm not sure I'm seeing that one. I'm not sure I'm seeing that one. Here, don't read that. Oh my god. The man, the myth, the legend. The woman, the myth, the legend. Tome-san. Tome-san. Miss Tome. Oh, you mean like how many cards are in their hand or something? Maybe. Miss Tome, come on. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Magic tricks all the way around. Every single card in here is a magic trick. Everyone. And I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. And I just find monsters with like classic wizard hats on for this one. Sambel the Summoner, Apprentice Magician, obviously, Magical Undertaker, Miracle. This deck is so bad. In case you missed it, yes, this deck is made to be bad. She does not want to win. She does not want to take away opportunities from Slifers in a very competitive environment, or from any duelist in a very competitive environment. She's doing because she wants to have fun. I just love the idea of her putting on her little magic show and just like trying to get the audience to laugh and just like playing magical hats and mystical ref panel and all of these silly things. It's just so much fun. I love this deck. I'm so happy with it. And I think it works so well for someone that doesn't want to win. That really opens you up. This is like all the way, my whole thing is like how to combine theme and function to like make like a deck that like really perfectly works well together and all of it's like on theme in like a really interesting way. Tome was my chance to be like, no. It's all theme, brother. It is all theme all the way down. Always has been. It's astronaut meme. Always has been. So it was just a fun exercise. It let me just put in things that would never go in no matter what. But yeah. Anyways, Toramaki is our last one, actually. Toramaki, man, I think that I made Toramaki slightly too weak too. It's funny, some decks you make early and as power creep, anytime I'm making new decks for a new chapter, every time, power creep is very, very real. And by the time I get to like the 20th deck, I got to go back and redo the first like 5 because I'm like, I know that I did redo Toramaki's a bit. I think I could have redone it a little bit more. Oh, okay. I like this Matthew Turner. I mean, you're thinking outside the box. I have to stew on it a bit. I'm not sure. It's not that I don't. I love the idea. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea of her like having like a hidden machine under the stage. Lieutenant Bot, you're here for the very end. We are just about to end. I'm on like literally the last text here. It's not that I don't love that. It's just that literally like in a very selfish way, if I put the interdimensional matter transporter in here, it just like doesn't. It just like throws off the like magic aesthetic of the deck. Like you're 100% right that it works, but like Just look at these. Like these are all like every one of these cards you can see at first glance just reminds you of like Magic. And this one is just too it's I mean you're right though. It works. But I don't know. That would probably be the one reason why I'm not quite with you on that one. Um but your ideas have been great. Lieutenant Vod, no, seriously, thank you so much for coming. I hate that you missed most of the stream, but I'm glad you were able to catch a little bit. Um so yeah, I think that Toramaki got a little too cooked with this deck. Like I don't think he needed 3 Kalmori, 3 Blackland Fire Dragon. It's kind of a way to offset the fact that he has 3 Acts of Despair, which is it makes him have basically the strongest equip package in the game. I mean, in the tournament. And then of course, as we mentioned before, Order Charge is amazing. Ego Boost is really good still. Faustian Bargain can go crazy. No one across on one copy of Unexpected Died, summoning a Sapphire Dragon from the deck. That's crazy. Salmon Destruction is great, of course, although we talked earlier about not being quick play Justy Break. I mean, he's got a lot of decent cards. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. We'll give him to 3 Blackland, 3 Kalmori. That's probably too much. That's probably was not good enough. Although we'll see how he does. He could definitely pull a he could definitely pull something. No, I no, I get the idea, Matthew. It's not that like I said, that's why I'm saying I'm gonna stew on. Wait, did I actually take it out? I do want to stew on. I'm not opposed 100%. It's just that I mean, all the tricks are bogus. Like that's kind of the. It's kind of the. I don't know. I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed. It just like I think taking away like the logical theme of it, it just doesn't look good, and that's like part of my. That's a stupid reason, but it just doesn't look like the rest of the cards. It's just like I don't know. It just doesn't have the same aesthetic. It doesn't have the same aesthetic. I'm trying to catch a vibe. Guys, I don't know. It's late. Okay, that's it. And of course, you have the horrendously inconsistent Dust Barrier card that you used a few days ago, Toramaki. I could probably recite every one of the intro videos word for word, and that's really embarrassing. Not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea, Matthew Turner. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. In fact, I think probably the only reason I didn't do that is because I wanted to put as many vanillas as possible. But I do think that I mean I already had Mass Dragons. Um, Not a bad idea at all, Matthew Turner. Not a bad idea at all. Who is that runs the troop dragons? Somebody runs Mass Dragon, Troop Dragon. Who am I thinking of? Not like in the show, in the game. Maybe that's next video. Oh, that's next video. That's next video. Oh, Mokuba does though. Mokuba did. Anyways, guys, this has been so much fun. Does anybody want to before we go? Anybody got any thoughts, any vibe, anything you want to say? I'm about to call it to end my stream. Wow, guys, I'm such a streamer. Wow. Well, I guess I'm gonna call the stream today. Thanks for coming, guys. Oh, I don't know. I really appreciate every one of you. This has been so much fun. We had so many viewers. It was so much good, so cool. I feel so loved. No. I know. Yeah, I know that Atticus played it in the anime. I meant. I was trying to think of who was playing it in Zero Chronicles. But yeah, dude, Matthew Turner, thanks for like sticking it out, brother. You have been just with the ideas the whole time. I really appreciate it. Okay, Gungnir. I know there's got to be a use case for it. I believe you. The thing is like once you it took me a second, but I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. There's something there. Isn't there a card that gets more attack based? Wait, hold on. No, Energy Drain is your own hand, right? Dude, Energy Drain right there. No, a Cyber Repairer Energy Drain, Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2. Hold on. No, Chain Link 2, Chain Link 1. Do the opposite order. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much for coming. Hopefully I'll do it again sometime. This was fun. Even if we don't do deck profiles, I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you guys about. So if you guys enjoy, I want feedback on streaming in general, but we'll talk. Maybe I'll make a post something. Adios.